All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, Carlos. Look, I'm doing okay. Although it is, it's snowing. It's not supposed to
Yeah.
be snowing.
Nice.
It's actively snowing out there.
Yeah.
It's anyways. Ugh. I'm ready
That
for
is,
winter to be done.
Yeah, it should be in spring already. I mean, yeah, that kind of sucks. But yeah, it is cold and windy and rainy over here as well. So I get you. After having some nice weather over the weekend, we're getting hit with some of that as well. Friends, let's bring you over to tradingterminal.com where you can get your scanners. And as you can see here, everything in the green this morning. I was looking at my Max 7, everything up almost everything over 1%. Apple's struggling, but everything else up this morning, looking really nice with Tesla leading the way, man, up 4.1 right now. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But off this gappers list, guys, everything is green. Obviously, overall market, SPY, Qs, everything heading towards the northeast this morning. Peter, before we dive into all of that, let's take a quick look at our U.S. economic calendar, and then we'll dissect this gappers list.
Yeah, pretty light on the calendar for today. The only real thing of note are the flash services and flash manufacturing PMI numbers expected to come out slightly better than 50%. The 50 on this is a relative scale. Anything above 50 shows a little bit of growth. Anything below 50 shows some contraction. Expected to be 51.5 on both scales at 9:45. I don't think the market is going to pay much attention to that, but you never know these days. It just might. Later this afternoon, there are a couple of Fed speakers, but they're not expected to say anything terribly, controversial. So should be a quiet day. We can focus in on the markets, which is probably good. Like you said, we actually have things going up on this Monday because Friday. Well, Friday ended, it was a quad witching on Friday, and we had sort of almost no price action. Well, it was fairly quiet until the very end of the day when things started to move a little bit. So it's good to see that momentum continue here, and hopefully we can continue it after the opening bell.
Yep, absolutely, friends. All right, let's start with the first one on here is going to be Lunar. Okay, that's the way to start. LUNR. So Lunar, this intuitive machines, we are up this morning. 8.2, 784,000 shares traded. So again, this thing has had some pretty bad luck, I would call it, lately, with things tipping over and just not going well every time they send something up to the moon, but or up to space. Peter, we're having here today. It's a stock that doesn't trade very well. We love talking about it because we like space things, but for the most part, I don't see anything overly exciting this morning. Any news that maybe?
Yeah. It's unfortunate
Great.
that it's not a great trader because it's fun to talk about. But yeah, there's really not. I mean, they did release financial results, but we don't watch them for their financial results, to be honest. I mean, really, they tend to move based on what's happening with their latest landing. Not only did they had a decent quarter, but their report actually came out. I'm surprised their revenue was actually under analyst forecasts. But it was sort of counteracted by the expectation that they're going to be able to grow their market because right now, I mean, their main, if not only client, is really NASA, and apparently they're going to be able to expand to their client base with some of the services or some of the technology that they're developing. So it's surprising to me that it's actually gapping up as it is this morning, leading our list. But like you said, I still don't think it's going to be a great trader. I mean, I have no reason to think that we're going to get a great trading opportunity on it after the bell rings, unfortunately.
Yeah. It'll be strange to get something worth watching. I'd rather, of course, watch something else. Let's take a look at KC. KC usually not another one that doesn't trade very well. It's up this morning, 6.1. We saw this a couple of times this last week. As you can see here in the gappers list, we have been getting in the gappers list, the daily. We have been getting bigger movements than we normally get, especially towards the end of January into February. Look at the increase in volume compared to what they do here. And again, you're getting a better daily movement here. This is King's Soft Cloud. And I know they had news last week, Peter. You had mentioned something. I can't remember what it was. But again, normally just doesn't trade well. So it probably won't be on my list today either.
Yeah, I assume this is just sort of catch up move from over the weekend. Casey King's Cloud, yeah, Kingsoft Cloud Holdings, sorry, which is a Chinese software company. Um, I I mean the Chinese stocks are moving up, but the whole market's moving up today. So I think this is just going with the flow. It might just just happen to have moved more than average. Not a great trader. The volume never holds up in this thing. So yeah, not worth spending your time on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one as well. Again, we'll find something else that looks much better or trades better, hopefully. Next on the list is going to be quantum. Quantum stuff is all over here. We got QBTS, we have IonQ, QUBT. Uh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Rigetti spaghetti, baby. Here it is. RGTI, also on here. So yeah, so there it is. The ones that we've been playing quite a bit. So let's look at QBTS. Let's see what they're up to this morning. If I look at this one, we are up 6%, 2.5 million shares traded. So daily looks interesting. We had the drop on Friday, and I'm sorry, the drop on Thursday. This is Friday here. You could barely see it. And on Friday, it didn't do much. Like many tickers were just blah into later parts of the day. And Tesla too, man. Tesla was really good later in the day. And we're seeing some more green today. So here it is, active this morning. I mean, pick your favorite. I'll probably be watching one of these. Again, IonQ looks pretty decent, at 5%, and their daily seems to have a lot of upside movement potential here as well. So maybe I'll watch IonQ today out of all of these. But pick your favorite out of this one. Peter, again, we've seen a bounce in tech, right? All tech stuffs are heading up after the couple of beat downs over the last couple of weeks. Is this part of that, or are we seeing something developing in it?
The beatdowns. Yeah,
Beat
no, look,
down.
there's no real news on quantum. I think they're just moving up with the rest of the market. Interesting that the volume seems to be increasing, and if I look at it when I zoomed in this morning, like I was looking at even just a 1 minute, like QBTS, it seems that this volume is being driven by algo trading, which I'm not sure if that's ironic or not, but it's amusing to me anyways that it seems to be the algos, because if you look, it's very barcode, like especially QBTS, but the rest of them too. QUBT, Rigetti, again, when I zoom in on the shorter time frames, it definitely does not look like, it's not individuals trading this. It looks like it's the algos that are trading it. So I guess it's good if that volume continues, but you need that combination with the sort of the retail trading for it to give you tradable signals and opportunities. So, like you said, Carlos, worth watching one of them. Pick whichever one you want out of our top quantum stocks, but I. I'm not sure what to expect of them today. I really don't know. I guess that's why we need to watch, right? Just to see if today is a day when they do something tradable.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'll probably watch IonQ. I think this one looks the most interesting out of all of them right now.
Really?
They got decent volume, so I'll probably throw that one on deck and just see where this thing goes here. And their intraday actually looks a little bit better, less barcode than the ones we just saw here, but again, still not great once you go to the 1 minute. And all right, so next on the list, the next group I see here is Bitcoin, right? We have Hood, we have Mara, CleanSpark, Riot, you name it. They're here this morning, and the list goes on and on. So overall, I don't really track Bitcoin over the weekend or what they're doing. So Peter, I'm not sure if you've seen anything great on there, but they're all gapping up this morning.
Yeah, since about dinner time last night, Bitcoin has been on the rise, but I mean it's only gone up about $2,500 from 85,000 to 87,500 roughly. It's a modest move and still in that range I keep talking about, that really it's just comfortable in. It's really got to either pop at the top or drop through the bottom before we're going to see big moves on the Bitcoin related stocks. So while it's been an interesting time, well, it's been a fairly quiet time for it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting just for something to happen here. It's going to happen one day or another. I just don't know when and which direction. So in the meantime, as long as it continues in this narrow range between the 75,000 and the 100,000, I think it's going to continue just to be fairly boring trading on crypto.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Not a big fan. Again, the hood seems to be nice. You got 1.6 here, 1.1, sorry, up almost 5%. So we got some action on them. I just don't know how well they're going to trade. All right, so we'll leave that alone. The next group I see here, now we start going into our Max 7, right? So we have Tesla leading the way this morning, and I do see Nvidia, I do see Amazon touch the bottom there a little bit, and I think that's where the list stops so far. But I expect more things as they get volume to make their way into here. So let's go to our good buddy Tesla. Oh man, Tesla, so much going on in this stock. It's getting out of control, man. I don't know if you saw the headline where a guy took, I guess, a blowtorch, and very, very high Q, obviously, took a blowtorch and tried to put a charging station on fire. Well, guess what happened?
Okay.
He caught on fire
He
himself as well.
he caught himself on fire. Yeah, I think I saw
Yeah,
that.
it's like, come on, man, read some books, understand that that's electricity, and that the way that's going to work is not going to be in your favor. So the vandalism, man, is getting out of control with these things, right?
Yeah, look,
It's just
and
wild.
that I have to admit that bothers me because that doesn't help anybody.
Right.
I get that people are upset and frustrated, and vandalizing though, especially individuals' private vehicles, that bothers me more than the than the other stuff, I guess. But maybe that's just me. Corporations, they can handle it. But
Yeah.
still, it shouldn't be done. So if anybody's out there, like, don't do it. Like, really,
Yeah.
it's not worth it, and it doesn't help. It actually it actually unfortunately supports an other side of the movement when you start to vandalize things. There's other ways to protest and express your displeasure rather than vandalizing businesses, public and private property. But then surrounding all of that, you get all sorts of weird news, right? Like the Trump and the government saying, well, if they catch people vandalizing their, they've asked the FBI to investigate, and they're going to declare it um, terrorist activity, right? So that you'd be a domestic terrorist if you vandalize things. But then you get
Nah,
the
it's too
other
far.
news that,
seems too
well, but
seems too
what's
far,
interesting
right?
about that, Carlos, and then I was watching, like, one of the news, talk shows on the weekend, and they were saying, does the administration know that there's a downside to that? Because, okay, so if it feels like a step too far, if you declare it terrorist activity, most insurance companies don't cover acts of terrorism. So now,
Right.
if it is
Right. Good point.
terrorism, right, then suddenly your insurance won't cover it. So, like, it's just I don't
Yeah.
know. It just feels
We
like it's.
can't take a sledgehammer to fix something so
Uh,
small, right? It's just
yeah,
arrest people. Just arrest people, and that's it.
yeah,
And just keep it simple.
yeah.
We don't gotta go
Anyway,
crazy on it.
just,
Um,
yeah, just don't
it,
do it, people. Stop doing it. But
yeah.
anyways, but Tesla stock has been, we've got to say, at least I think Tesla stock has been fairly resistant or resilient, considering the fact that all of this crazy stuff is going on. Don't forget, there's a backdrop of sales challenges in various parts of the world. We know about their sales being down 50% in China. There's a few countries in Europe, not all of Europe, but a couple of countries in Europe where their sales have been down significantly as well. And of course, the North American sales have declined, although I haven't seen any recent numbers, so I don't know what percentage that is. But so that is a business-based backdrop to what's happening here, and yet the stock for 2 weeks now has been fairly stable, right? Like, it hasn't gone up, it hasn't gone down significantly, but it did. Well, I shouldn't say it hasn't gone up. It sort of did go up towards the end of last week. Like, Friday was actually a fairly
Friday was a
good day
great
for
day.
Tesla.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Agree.
like, it rose steadily, not a massive increase, but it rose fairly steadily. And I got to give credit to Paris and Jared and a couple people in the room, like, they were calling it out and called the move. And sure enough, Paris got an excellent trade off the open on it on Friday. So yeah, like, right now Tesla's sitting at 258, almost 259, and it's looking strong like the rest of the market. So it's a great trading stock, one way or the other. So despite all the craziness that's happening out there in the world, it's absolutely on my list for trading because it keeps giving opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. Tesla will be on my list as well. And again, up pretty nice this morning, man. We are up 4%, 4 million shares traded, and you can see we're on this daily at least we're kind of building somewhat a support. So yeah, should be awesome going into today's trading on this one. So I'm gonna just add this one here, Tesla. We'll put the first one on the list at the bottom there. If I could type correctly, as the fingers get warmed up this morning. There it is, Tesla. All right. Let's see what else. So again, going to some of the other Max 7s, NVIDIA is another one that has been very active for us that we've just been all over. And today we're up again, up 2.1, 5.3 million shares traded. Also doing very well here. If we go through the list, you're going to have Meta doing well. I mean, just go through it. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple, they're all in the green this morning. So Tesla, out of the Max 7, Tesla will be on there. Of course, NVIDIA, as some of these tech companies start moving higher, I'm going to put NVIDIA on the list. And Peter, as far as you in just overall tech and Max 7, which companies are you going to, tickers are you going to be watching today?
Apple has been actually trading fairly well as well. It's a slower move than a Tesla, but I've been watching Apple more closely because every once in a while it gives me sort of a nice little telegraphed move that I like to trade. And the other one is Microsoft, which I had been ignoring for quite a long period of time, but also has been giving some interesting moves. Friday close, I don't like something got into it. Like Friday, it just like leapt up, made like twice the move of the whole rest of the day in the last 5 minutes of the day. So weird move there on Microsoft. So I'll be curious to see if it does anything today and continues that. So that of course, aside from the semiconductors, which I'll always keep an eye on, Nvidia's one of my favorites. Didn't do much on Friday. Wasn't a great mover, but AMD actually was a little bit better for me. And then of course don't forget last week we had the earnings on Micron. Intel had some news. So yeah, we'll just have to see which one of them decides to move this week. But the whole sector I'll just be watching.
Yeah, yep, I agree. I'm gonna add. I have Tesla, I have Nvidia here, and Apple talking about Apple. They had a big day on Friday too. Like if you look at their daily here, they did very well. So kind of building that support there. So maybe I'll throw Apple on my secondary list just in case. So all right. Okay. I think that kind of covers our gap up. If we go through it again, I mean, we cover crypto, we cover the quantum stocks, which are on here. Max 7. I bet there's one here that I know people will like. It's called PLTR. I mean, this stock
PLTR, yeah, there
on
you go.
Friday, man. This is why we watch this ticker. Did you see Andrew's trade? I mean, just explosive. And many of you guys, not just Andrew, a lot of you guys took that breakout on a Friday. It was not probably, I think it was the best trading stock intraday action as far as Friday, right? Because Friday we had a lot of chop, a lot of sideways action, and PLTR just took off. Andrew got in literally like here. I think he started this momentum. He got in here, and many of you guys just took advantage of. Yeah, I mean his entry is just ridiculous. It was like he just started the whole thing here, and you can see here how well this thing moved up higher and higher. And once you're in below this area and you're not getting your entry tested, it's to the moon, right? There's no reason for you to jump out. And you can see this thing went all the way to 90, so almost a $6 move there. All right, so I'll add that to the list. Andrew's laughing in chat. Good morning, Andrew. Good to see you, man. But yeah, he's got to be excited. I mean, imagine being ready, being like the head of this show that's coming up in like 5 days. That's got to be awesome, man. So we'll be flying down to Vancouver. I'll be like shitting bricks, man. I'll be so nervous if I was him, but he's doing a great job, man. Not putting the pressure on, but I seen the stuff in the back that's happening. You don't want to miss this. I don't know if I want to be a moderator, if I want to go in as a guest and just enjoy the atmosphere. It's gonna be awesome, Peter. I'm looking so forward to it.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, PLTR on the list, Peter. I like this one today. Will you be watching it as well?
Yeah, it's actually made my list now, and I think it's one of the regulars that I'm going to watch for at least the next little while to see what it does, because it's been, like you said, you never know which day it's going to move, but every second or third day it gives these great moves. So I think it's worth keeping an eye on a regular basis now. So it goes right at the top of my short list.
Yeah. Definitely got it on here. We'll add it to our list as well. So for now, Tesla, Nvidia, and PLTR. And there's more of the gap up list. Again, tradingterminal.com gets you access to this list, and it keeps growing, right? As things get more volume. We're going to stop here, though. Peter, before we get to the gap down, anything you like that's gapping up that we haven't covered yet?
I think we've pretty much hit all of the key ones. The only other thing sector maybe that I was watching is I wanted to see what the airlines are going to do. Boeing had an interesting move up on Friday, and actually for various reasons, not most of it defense related, not airline related. But yeah, let's see that big move up midday on Boeing, and but the airlines have been having some, like, good news and bad news, and and it's a little uncertain, I guess. But I was looking at the charts of and Carlos, I know that sometimes you like to watch the airlines, but I was looking at the charts of, like, it doesn't matter, frankly, whether you pick American Airlines, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, pick anything that ends AL. Whether you put an A, a D, or a U in front of it.
Yes.
But the daily, like, they've really lost a lot of altitude, pun intended.
Yep.
And it feels like if the market starts to just gain a little bit of strength, that they could get some outsized moves here. So I thought I'd just keep an eye on one of them and see what happens, because the one exception there is Southwest, which is odd. The Southwest is, actually, it's up near its highs already on the daily. So it had sort of, but it was the one that had. Remember, they were the ones that they announced a couple of things where they were going to start charging for
For
baggage, where I guess
bags.
they hadn't
Yeah. Yeah.
before. Yeah, and they were one of the last holdouts, and now said they're going to try and make more money off of that. So, anyways, I guess it's done well by their stock, because if I look back on the daily chart on Southwest, they've had green days for the last 2 weeks. I think it's like 8 days in a row. Yeah, eight
It's,
days in a row. So
I don't know how they've been
you
surviving,
got the
man.
5 minute on the screen, but it's
Oh yeah, let me get the daily. Sorry, I don't know how they've been doing it, because I tell you, my wife just came back from Florida, so I was single parenting for the last week, man. I'll tell you, I
oh.
deserve some brownie points. It is not easy. So shout out to, listen, if you're a single mother and you got more than 3 kids, man, or two, 3 kids, it's God bless you, because it is not
Yeah,
easy. So shout out to
it
you,
is,
or
yeah,
single father, shout out to you.
yeah.
But going back to Southwest, she paid $130, Peter, for United to get this bag checked in. And
Right.
it's just getting out of control, man. So I don't know how Southwest did it for so many years without charging for a bag, because it's such a revenue. So again, this is the reason why they're up. This is going to be such a revenue driver for them. It's unbelievable. So it was good while the love lasted. Love is gone on Southwest, and
The
you
love
got to
is
pay for
gone.
your bag. The love is gone, my friends.
Yeah.
Pay for your bags. So yeah. But going back to what you're saying, Peter, I agree. American Airlines and these other ones, like, they've been beat up so much. I always watch American Airlines, and like I've been saying, if it goes under 10, I want to get in. I don't think I'm gonna have that opportunity to get here if it doesn't drop anymore. It's looking very bullish right now. So, but yeah. So you're watching the airlines. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right,
That's enough.
awesome. That's enough. Gapping down is going to be very easy for us this morning. It's just one, ZIM, and they're down 13%. And unfortunately, this is not a stock that trades very well. I love the gap down today. You can see here how bad we're doing this morning. But again, it's not a great intraday ticker, and part of it is because the volume that it gets on the daily is very light, very light. Today could be their day. Like, if they're going to do something, maybe today will be that day. But there's so many other great things to look at. Like, all these Max 7s, man, are looking awesome today. I think that's where my attention is going to be at, just all the tech stuff that can give us some good momentum, plus PLTR. So, Pierre, I don't know what's driving these guys down this morning, but obviously something's not good on their end.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see any news that is particularly negative. Uh, I don't see any news at all, to be honest. So occasionally these guys will just pop up on the list, and I never quite know why. So I have to assume that they're dual traded. I don't know. I mean, it is like you said, they're an Israeli shipping company, so it would make sense if they were also listed on a European market somewhere. Maybe this is just a catch up for something that happened, and the news didn't. It's not North American news, so it didn't catch the news headlines here. But I can't tell you why. But yeah, not a great trading stock. I'll look at the other stuff I already talked about.
Yep, yep, 100%. All right, so I won't be adding this one. Someone mentioned that SMCI, so I see a few people mentioning it over in chat and on YouTube, was in the gap down list earlier and then kind of moved up above 2%. And I could see that here very early this morning. You could see that it was down around 40, 90, 40, 50 was the low. So maybe there and then now kind of pushing back up a little bit. Volume is 3.2 on it. Super micro. I know we like this stock quite a bit. Daily has been I don't know. I don't know what you call this. A little bit choppy, just back and forth here. Does seem like it's holding on to this 200 and it maybe wants to get a breakout if the volume is in it, if it's in the cards for today. Secondary for now, man. I like the stock. We'll watch it closely. I just don't know if it's primary material at the moment. Peter, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it is the only semiconductor that is down this morning. They did have a downgrade by Goldman Sachs and reduced their price target from 40 all the way down to $32, saying that they believe that there's going to be margin pressures and revenue pressures on them for the top line, which again is not good for those big bold predictions that their CEO made that they were going to increase their revenue by 25%, going from 30 to $40 billion. So I I don't know. It's hit or miss for me watching this one as to whether it trades well. Like I find that recently the trading has been more challenging. It gets the volume, like I can't argue that, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
I don't personally love the way it trades. So yeah, it's
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 funky.
notable because it's sticking out. It's red compared to everything else being green, but it's not great.
Yep. It's just correction here, guys. That's I'm said the 200, but that's actually the 50. This is the 200. Thank you, Gurinder. Gurinder. How do we say his name? Is
Green.
that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gurinder. Okay. Baha. So yeah. So thank you for that correction. All right, friends. That is all we have. Peter, as far as gap down, anything you like before we get to our chat?
It's very little that's gapping down. So the short answer is no.
Oh, Peter, your volume good?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I heard something weird in my headphone, like I don't know, some static, but it's good. All right, let's get to you guys in chat over at our Bearboot Traders chat, friends. Let's start there. What do you guys like this morning, and what's on your list so far? So we looked at SMCI, got a downgrade from GM. Okay, we'll have it on here and see how that plays out. What else? Again, a second. I could put on a secondary. It's just that's what I have it for the most part. We'll see if it continues to trade well. All right, let's see here. Hannah says even only one child is tough. Yeah, depending on their age too, right? Like if they're, I got two older ones, 11 and 5, and if you have just one newborn, then forget it. It's just it amounts for those two easily. All right, Google, yes, Max 7 or any pick your favorite. I have my favorite here, which is Tesla and Nvidia, and I have Apple. These trade very, very well. But again, going down the list, here's by alphabetical order. We have Apple, again, doing very well. Big day yesterday, so I do like that one. Amazon can trade very well. Amazon, here, we had some really nice days, really good drops, really good movement, good volume. Here's Google. I got to say, Google and Google and Microsoft, between Google, Meta, and Microsoft, they go back and forth. These are my least favorite of the Max 7. So it's Google, Meta, and Microsoft. And if I had to rate them out of the best ones out of those bottom three, Meta will be first. Google and Microsoft are tied. I can't tell. They're both pretty bad when it comes to how good they are. But Meta is probably the better one. Pick your favorite. You could be complete opposite. That could be your top three. It all depends on your trading style. But yeah, they're all in play today. Pick whatever one you like this morning. GRRR is gapping up. Let's see. Our Gorilla Technology ticker is here, up 13.2, 366,000 shares traded. I mean, they've been in play before. I'm not sure. I just think there's better opportunities out there. Like if I didn't have so much green on the screen that I could focus on so many other tickers, maybe, but I'm not sure, man. It's a tough trader. So compared to everything else I like this morning, I love the ticker name, but Peter, I'm not sure this is probably going to make the list.
Yeah, I not my list. I mean, they did have to make an announcement saying that there's misinformation about the company out there and it's not to be believed, which is not usually good when you have to do that. But they are, they did gap up earlier this morning, like a move between 8 and 8:30, and now it's just going sideways. So I, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a big
Yeah.
trade today.
And be careful. I mean, I'm looking at the prices on this thing that I realize that this thing is like it can move. I mean, it's 29 is right here, 26. Just the pre-market high 29, the pre-market low 25. So you can get a lot of movement with very little volume. Always look at the spread on this thing before you jump in because it's unless you have amazing volume, it can be messy there. I'm not sure what the float is. I don't have it handy right now, but just be careful. Oh, there it is. Hong King Chang, our connection from here from Asia, who gives us all the Asian news. I appreciate you, buddy. GR has wider spread, hence careful on slippage. Yeah, you could tell. You could tell this is a nasty one. So, want to be very, very careful, Jeff, if you're trading that one or anybody else. All right, AMD is being mentioned in chat. Yeah, AMD, Peter, you mentioned this even traded better than Nvidia last time, right?
On Friday, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you could watch it. Maybe we'll put it on a secondary for us today. AMD here. I haven't watched AMD in a long time, Peter, so we'll see how that goes. And that's it, guys. I don't see anything else being mentioned here. Again, a lot of attention on the Max 7 right now, and that's what's on deck for the most part. And I don't see anything else. All right, let's get over to our website, guys, bearwoodtraders.com. And if you head over here, you can always see what's happening for the next 2 weeks as we kick off this amazing week, last week of the month, and a week away from one of the most important events that I think BBT has had in a very, very long time. So looking very forward to it. Peter, take us away.
Ever, I would say. But, it's our biggest event. Yes,
Peter,
this summit
you know
is
what,
gonna
Peter? This one's going to be so good that I don't know how Andrew and the marketing team is going to top this next year. I just don't see them doing that. This is going to be so good, man. You don't want to miss it. It really is. I'm looking so forward to it.
I know, like we're doing the last minute planning and the logistics and everything, and having active conversations with the producer and stage manager of the whole event. And yeah, it's coming together well. So yeah, it's going to be quite an event. It's fantastic. So if you haven't, you could still get there, still visit with us at next weekend in Vancouver. Should be very cool. Anyways, this week we still have our slate of activities happening in the chat room, starting with all of our onboarding classes for our new members. Today we've got a few things that you should be aware of, starting with the noontime DAS Pro setup information session that Brendan holds. That's going to be in the onboarding room. Again, it's for all membership classes, all members. If you want to get help with DOS, or you want to get some new tips or tricks, you can always learn more about how it functions. There is so much hidden functionality in this tool. You can pretty much do anything you want, and you can configure it to look any way that you wish. So you just have to know how. So Brendan can definitely help you with that, and maybe other members. I get tips from all over the place. In fact, most of what I know and how to use DOS has come from other people. That, hey, did you know that? And you add that to your repertoire, and suddenly you're able to use it much more effectively, and it helps with your trading. So if you want to join, that will be on at noon. I'm getting note from Mike here that also Avi is going to be in the webinar room at 11. Today to answer questions. So my goodness, so let's start at 11 with Avi in the webinar room. If you want to get some questions answered, Avi's going to be doing that today. Then we got Brendan at noon, and then at 1 we've got our onboarding class for boot campers. So if you're in boot camp, you should already be aware of this. It's only for those that have already registered but are coming to a future boot camp. We're actually coming very quickly to the end of the current boot camp, which means the next one will be starting in about a month. So it's time to start thinking about what am I going to do to get ready and where do I need to position myself. Boot camp is pretty intensive once you get started. So getting a leg up on that, getting a good early start is a good thing to do. So that'll be in the Google meeting room for Peak Capital Trading. And then tonight we have our onboarding class at 8 p.m. that Carlos always leads. It's great for new members or anybody that just wants a refresher on all of the services, all of the functionality that Bearable Traders provides for you. Or if you just want to get some ideas of, I want to change my strategy or find a strategy, then, going there is a good place to get started and sort of get your mind oriented and get some help on how to move forward. So that's at 8 p.m. once again in the onboarding room. So there you go. We got 4 different sessions for you today, starting at 11 with Avi's, and then going to noon with Brendan, 1 o'clock for boot campers, and then 8 o'clock tonight. If you want to join us here at Bearable Traders, we always invite you to go to bearabletraders.com. You can find all the information, including on the summit, our membership options, all the classes and that we have available, the schedule of events. It's all there. Just check it out anytime. We still have our spring sale, so you can get 50% off that elite annual membership. And we would love to see you in Vancouver. Andrew's here. Oh, look at them. He's here early into the chat room. Yeah, reminding everybody that Vancouver is just a few days away. Carlos, what does the countdown say? God, it's so close now.
Let's get it. I got it right here. It should be on the website.
4 days, 22
4
hours.
Days.
Yeah. Baby.
Sweet,
it's
man.
Coming.
It's happening.
Coming.
It's
Wait a
happening.
second. 4 days, 22 hours. How are we counting that? Doesn't that mean it's starting at like 6 a.m. with 3 hours?
Peter, don't look at these. It doesn't matter. It's coming soon.
Yeah, don't worry about that so much. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
It's coming soon.
Potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Yeah, it's around the corner.
Yeah, whatever. Starts Saturday. It's going to be fantastic, one way or the other. In any event, yeah, it's cool. And if you go to the website, by the way, you can get the whole schedule of events and activities. You can see all the sessions, all the opportunities. It's all listed out there in detail, so you know what you're getting. You know that you're getting a ton of information, a really packed schedule. And if you've been to any, any sort of these types of events, that you can attend some or all of them. You don't have to go to everything, but it's all there and available for you, and it'll keep you very busy if you choose to do everything. So it's a fantastic event. So again, we're all looking forward to it. We're pretty psyched because we're all heading out there. In fact, Carlos, are you we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do this show on Friday, because I know I'm doing it live from Vancouver. So
no, Friday. So I'm here Friday. I don't leave until Friday evening. So I got to check my flight. I think I'll probably do it from here. You're welcome to join me from Vancouver. So it should be easy with VMix. We'll do it from here. And then Monday's what we got to figure out how we're going to do Monday. But we'll make it work.
Monday, as always, Monday's fun. It's usually a little chaotic, but it's always fun because we're going to be live in the room with everybody. That'll be super early, right? Because it's we're getting started at 5:30 Vancouver time. So, but it always amazes me. There will be people that show up live to be with us. So we'll be there in the big conference room. Anyways, we'll figure that out. That's part of the logistics as we get there. So anyways, check it out if you haven't, even just to understand what's going to be happening over those 3 days. It's good to know, and it'll create some FOMO, I promise you. All right, Carlos, let's set some levels, and then I can let people know what our moderators are watching. So mods, get your lists in.
Yeah, absolutely, friends. Let's jump in here, guys. So my list right now is made up of Tesla, NVIDIA, PLTR, secondary list Apple, SMCI, and AMD. I'll add some more as we go forward, but we're going to start with those right now, and we'll see what our team is watching in just a second here. So let's do levels for Tesla. Again, Tesla crushing it on Friday and doing very well today. We are up. We're up 4.4 million shares traded, and again, the action looking very nice this morning as we're getting some kind of support from the daily. I have the pre-market 259.90. We'll slam one there, and then above that, that's a big level here on the daily 277.25. You can see that right there. And then right below that, before we get to that, we have a 269.71 right around that area. I'll zoom in for you guys in a second here. You can see there's a couple of days opening and closing. You're just slamming into that, so you definitely want to have that on there as well. Towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days are doing a great job there, so got you covered. All we have have to mark down. It's the low of the pre-market at 253.22. We'll slam one there, and you are pretty set when it comes to Tesla. Again, one of my favorite tickers today. Looking forward to that one. Next one is going to be NVIDIA. Again, two of our Max 7 here so far. So NVIDIA trying to go higher. Look at this, guys, breaking new pre-market high right now. And you're seeing resistance from Thursday, right? Thursday we had a little bit of resistance here. This is Wednesday. This is Thursday, obviously Friday. So we're just right on there right now. So that's a big level. That is your pre-market high right now at the moment. Let's see if that's going to hold. If we continue higher, we got a decent level at 121.73, and then above that, here it gets a little bit messy, maybe around 122.82. Again, not a big major level, but at the 122.82, you do have something happening there as well. Now looking towards the bottom, we're going to slam one over at 118.50. So that's the low of the pre-market there. And then towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days do got you covered there, so do not need to add anything else. All right, let's take a look at our good buddy PLTR. And then this one was very explosive. It was the winner chicken dinner, like they say, for a lot of you guys over on Friday. That, again, a lot of stuff was chopping around. This was the one that made it for a lot of people. So awesome, including Andrew had a nice breakout trade. Again, I think he started that momentum. His entry was way too good. High of the pre-market, he was way too good. It was like just right on there. He read that perfectly. High of the pre-market, 94. The low of the pre-market, 91.33. So we're going to slam one there as well. And then towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, doing an amazing job there. You don't need to add anything else. You got a lot going on down there. So we'll leave it the way it is. Now towards the top, in case we continue to move higher, let's look for some levels to slam on. And if you need something to slam on this morning, there's a thumbs up button here on YouTube. So we appreciate your help. We're sitting at 97 likes, which is somewhat on the lower side as you get closer to the open. So we'd love for you guys to slam that button, get your anger out. If you're angry or if you're happy, whatever it is, just use that button for whatever you need it to be. It is customizable for whatever feelings you want to share there. So hit that. All right. So above that, 99.12 is the high, is a level above the high of the pre-market. And over here we have 107.76 on PLTR. Again, big levels because we had this huge gap up. Man, PLTR is starting to close this gap here, Peter. This is looking interesting. So again, did any news, Peter, as far as their contracts or anything else? I mean, we haven't heard anything, right?
No, it's pretty quiet. If
Okay.
somebody knows something, it's not public anyways.
Yeah. All right, let me redo these levels because it was messy towards the bottom, so I want to clean this up. So again, 94 is the high of the pre-market, 91.33 is the pre-market low, and then above here we do have 98.80, and then we have this area right over here. I'm going to go with 106.87. So it looks pretty good there. Again, PLTR is trading really good. It's going to be fun to watch. And I think that makes my list. I only got 3, so very focused. I got Apple, SMCI, and AMD towards the secondary. I think I'm just going to keep that. I like these today. I like these actually very, very much. All right, let's go to Peter. What is our team watching this morning?
All right, our team are getting their list in and ready for us this morning. I'm going to start at the top with Lenny, who was the first one in this morning, and he says he's going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, MU, OKLO, which is one we haven't talked about in a while, Hood, and AZN, AstraZeneca. Interesting list here from Lenny, picking out some stuff that we weren't actively talking about. Andrew's keeping it tight, going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, and PLTR. Eamon has potential longs. He's going to be watching Apple and Tesla to see what they do. Mike is going to be watching Tesla and Amazon. Megan, Tesla and MSTR. Avi's watching the list that's what he calls his Monday list, which is the same as his Friday list, the same as his everyday list. So there you go. Nathan's watching the same. I'm going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, and AMD, and I'll also keep an eye on Apple, PLTR, and American Airlines, like I mentioned. I've got no IPOs to let you know about today, so it should be pretty quiet on that front. It's a Monday. It usually is. And Phil's going to be watching NVIDIA and Tesla, and Brian, just in with his list, watching Tesla, NVIDIA, PLTR, AMD, and, of course, the overall SPY. So should be a good day. I'm hoping for a nice, good movement day. All right, we got that witching behind us. The volume can happily come back into the market. We get some good moves. The fact that it's green usually gets people a little more interested. So yeah, I'm hoping for a good day to lead off a good week here as we come towards the end of this month and like we keep saying, we come towards this summit, this event in Vancouver, which is our big event of the year. So hopefully you'll join us again. You don't have to be a member to join, by the way, right? We have so many people that join that sometimes it's the very first thing, the event that they do with us, or first exposure to Bearable Traders. So if you just found us on YouTube and you're watching and you're in and around Vancouver, or have always wanted to go to Vancouver, maybe this is your opportunity. Head out to the West Coast. It's beautiful this time of year. You can there's groups going skiing. We're gonna have to put some runs together. Anyways, we'll see. Mike and I are going for running. We have to. As we continue our
you don't have a choice.
Marathon training. I ran the longest. I did the longest run I've ever done in my entire life yesterday, and my legs are very sore today. So I was going to go for a run this morning, and then I looked out the window and I'm like, there's snow. I'm not running in the snow. I have to admit, the closer I get to the marathon, the more terrified I am of getting injured. So it's just, it just makes me nervous because I'm afraid of like doing something weird and hurting something that won't allow me to run. So, and Jason, we're doing the full marathon. So, Mike did 15 and a half miles. Mike, you're ahead of me, man. I've never run that far in my life. What I did was not that far. So, anyways, eventually I'll get there. I hope. Well, I know I will on May the 4th, but maybe I'll get there before that. We'll see.
Yeah, nice. All right, friends, we are all set here. Once Andrew's ready to hop into the chat, we'll transition over to him, or Brian. Once you guys are ready, we'll move over to you guys, and Peter and I will continue here on YouTube. So we'll be getting set up to do that shortly. Run first from.
Yeah, Mike is saying it was very painful, his run. Yeah, 15 and a half miles. That would be painful. He said, I don't remember so many hills. I did notice that. I did my neighborhood. I did like 12 miles, right, this weekend or yesterday. And I just ran in my neighborhood, and my neighborhood isn't really 12 miles big. So I basically ran around the neighborhood like 3 times. And there was this one hill that I ended up doing 3 times. And the first time, it's not even a hill. Like, you don't even notice it. The second time, I'm like, oh, there's a little bit. The third time, I could have sworn I was climbing Mount Everest. I'm just like, as you got more tired and more miles got in your legs, I'm like, oh, why is this hill so big? And I was laughing at myself, as I was running it, because I'm thinking, I just did this like an hour ago and I barely even noticed it. So anyway, that's running for you.
Yeah. All right, friends, we are ready. I'm excited for this open, hoping to get some really good moves out of these tickers. Again, we've been stuck in so much chomp. It has not been an easy market to trade, guys. Like, if you go back and look at all last week, so much back and forth. I'm hoping that we can get into a little nice trending action today and can take advantage of some moves here. So, and Peter, you had a couple of great trades last week, although you don't trade the open. You dabbled a little bit with some stuff.
Well, as we're live here, I guess I'm getting a little more bold, paying attention to the open action. So yeah, if I can get some open trades and they work, then I'm all for it. Why not?
Yeah. You need to start slow, especially on race day. 100%. I done 80 miles on the bike, and so this thing they do here every year. And if you don't look down and realize how fast you're going, you can tap out pretty soon. So you got to keep your speed down and just not go with that crowd. Because sometimes the crowd gets going, just don't realize you're excited. The emotions are going, and you're going faster than you should be. So every time I kept looking down the speed, like, okay, I'm going too fast. I'm pushing too much. I got to bring it back down. Yeah, that's important. Good advice. Definitely does work.
It's funny, Carlos, you say that, because I like, even this weekend, I normally run early in the morning, so there's nobody out. It's just me running. But this weekend, I went for a mid-afternoon run, and there's a lot more people out in the neighborhood running around. And I realized, like, I would see somebody, I would pull onto a street, and there's somebody running ahead of me, or they'd pull in front of me, and then suddenly you're like, I got to catch up to them. And I realized I was suddenly competing with them, even if they had no idea that I was competing with them. And I'm like, well, this is dumb. Just ignore them. Just run your run. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have to like really watch that, because what happens? That's what they say, right? You get in the adrenaline with the big group around you. the fire, the gun goes off and
Mm-hmm.
everybody like takes off like a shot, and then 5 miles later they're all dying
Yeah.
on the side of the road. So
I
you're gonna
see
have to
Andrew's logging in
yeah,
here, so we're gonna
yeah,
hop
be
off from
aware of that.
chat. I mean, for all you know, that guy just got out of his house. He's full of energy, and you over here already ran 3 miles. You just
Yeah.
don't know. All right, friends, I'm gonna disconnect from chat. Andrew's ready to go live here with our members. Brian should be joining him shortly, and me and Peter will continue here on YouTube. So, gonna just
Absolutely.
take this off.
So have a
There
great
it is.
trading day. Trade smart, everybody. For all our members, yeah, be smart. Listen to Andrew and Brian, and we'll be on YouTube.
Yep.
You can come over there too.
Yes, you can. All right, friends. All right, awesome. So easy to get caught up in the excitement, go too fast. Yes, exactly. Got to stick
Same
to
thing
your,
in trading,
plan.
right? Don't get caught up
Yeah.
in the excitement when the opening bell rings and go too fast.
100%.
There you
100%.
go. Take it slow, man.
Don't have that FOMO. All right, let's take a look here. Let me set up my screen. So we got the 5-minute here, and then I got the 1 minute up here. I'm gonna be looking at Nvidia and Tesla, gonna be my two main ones this morning. That's gonna be focusing on, guys. My concern. So here's my concern. I'm concerned if I wait for a 5-minute RB, it might be gone before I get a chance to even jump in. So I'll be looking for any opportunity bullish around that 3-minute mark. If it's gonna be bullish or short, right, or bearish. But I just think that we might get some early on volatility with all this excitement, and not saying it's gonna go up here. This thing we might see some profit taking.
Yeah,
How many times have we seen this?
Exactly, and that's why I'm going to be very careful, because we've seen this many times where, like, the pre-market. So we closed very strong on Friday, right? So we had that, but it was a very last-minute push up. So while that's good, often that sentiment carries through to the Monday open, but it doesn't mean that necessarily we're going to continue to go higher. I mean, I look at the SPY and the Qs. The Qs look a little better than the SPY, but the SPY, like, it's so far this morning, and even some of the bigger stocks like Tesla and others, they've been very sideways for the last little while. If I look at the SPY, it really, frankly, has been moving sideways since about 6 a.m. this morning. So, it's not like we've had significant upward movement saying that this is going to be a very, very bullish open. I mean, it's gone slightly higher, but I'm cautious because I've been caught on this before, where you're like, well, it's got to go long, right? So you're just all in long, and you ignore the signs that maybe the market's not as strong as you thought it was. So yeah, be careful whatever you choose to do at the open. Like, I'm not saying it won't be, I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, because again, we got the initial gap up, and we haven't seen them. Maybe Tesla a little bit here. We've seen a little move
Tesla's
up more.
a little bit, yeah.
Volatility, right? Because it's just been beat up so much. But for the most part, a lot of them are just moved up, gapped up, and then just kind of sideways. So let's see if when the heavy volume comes in, if that momentum is going to continue here.
I also have. We didn't talk about it so far this morning, but you guys know my tinfoil line that I love to look at. It's bracketing the price action very nicely this morning on almost all offerings. Tesla's one of the few that's breaking out. So again, that tinfoil line, 8 o'clock. If you just look at the 8 a.m. candle on most offerings, usually you get small body, big wick, big volume spike, and I see that on a lot of things this morning. But we'll see if it proves to be relevant. I hope we actually break out the top of this 8 a.m. candle like Tesla is doing, right? Tesla's sort of just coming out the top of that. That'll be good, because that would signal a little more of a bullish day. But we'll see what we got. I mean, so Tesla's out over the top. Apple's actually over the top of that 8 a.m. candle. Nvidia's just sort of at it right now. So I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it's not like super bullish. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna mark this 8 a.m. candle levels here on a bunch of my charts just to keep an eye on them. That's a good idea. Good idea. Did we lose Carlos? I'm not hearing a Carlos.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. No, I'm back.
Okay.
Back. Yep. I'm just marking. I'm gonna mark these levels today on my stocks and see how they play out. I'm not gonna make I'm not going to trade off of them because I never used them before, but we'll see how they play out. All
5
right.
minutes. There's my 5-minute alarm.
Let's see. So I marked there's a way also to do this shaded. Like I seen DAS allows you to shade this area. A lot of members do that. So if you want to put a range, you can shade it, and it's pretty nice because it keeps it throughout the throughout the day, so you can see how things are forming. For those that are new, we use Dash Trader Pro as the platform. Again, very solid trading platform, and just a lot of great features. There's just most of them are hidden. They're very, very well hidden when it comes to DAS. So yeah. If the whole market is moving overall, do you guys then go for more ETFs or high flow stocks? You could look at some ETFs. Like I know one that we've been trading a lot is TSLL for Tesla. So you could look at this one. And the other one is NVDL. Did I get that right? Yeah, and this is the other one here for
NVIDIA.
For NVIDIA, yes, NVIDIA. There it is. Andrew is live in our chat. He has himself and Brian, and some people were asking me for Avi. So Avi does his live trading too. So you could get there's a link over in Trading Academy where you can see his live trading. Also, you got to join some membership. But yeah, many people already live and ready to go this morning. And we do P Capital live. You traded last week with P Capital, I believe on the Tuesday. So yeah, so it's a lot of live sessions happening. Pick your favorites. That's for sure. Brian's got his book map ready to go. So he's looking at NVIDIA, PLTR, AMD, Tesla, and Apple. So the usual suspects for him. And yeah, so you take longs and shorts as you normally would with, yeah. So what we do is on these ETFs, what you want to do is you don't want to look at the price action here. You look at the price action, for example, on Tesla, right? So if you want to go long Tesla, then you look at the price action here, and then you enter the trade on the ETF. That's what Andrew does. We're on NVDL, same thing, right? You pull up a chart of NVIDIA, for example. You have a chart of NVIDIA on the side here, and then you have another one with the ETF you want to trade. And then you take what the trade based on this. Like you look for your pattern based on NVIDIA, because that's what's going to give you the best price action, the best order flow. So you're going to get cleaner information on NVIDIA and Tesla, the actual stock, and then you take the trade on the ETF. All right? So hopefully that makes sense. Because the ETF could look a little bit funky, maybe not have as much volume sometimes. That's how Andrew does it, and I think that's probably the way it works best too. I think that's how everybody almost does it, right? So, what about Faris? Does he live stream? Who's Faris? Faris? That's our designer or our event coordinator.
Event
Faris.
coordinator, yeah, the producer of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you mean Paris? Paris. Paras.
Paris.
Paris
Oh, okay.
trades.
So oh yeah. So Paris, I don't know if he trades live. If he has his mentorship, he trades live in the morning.
No, he actually
I'm not
prefers
sure.
not to trade live because he find it just he doesn't trade as well. So
Yeah.
it's only coming on.
They're
So we're getting a move. I noticed that we got to move down in
Mhm.
the last couple of minutes here on
Yeah.
a couple of things. So
getting a little bit of a
except for
sell off.
Apple's popping up. Tesla's selling.
Oh yeah, look at Apple. Apple is actually going the other way. Some things are pulling down, but Apple is looking interesting.
All
Peter,
right,
how many
1 minute.
alarms do you have, Peter?
I
Peter-
want to make sure
Peter's
that I
like-
don't forget.
I'm not trying to miss anything, man.
That's right. I'm telling you, I got alarms everywhere. It helps, right? It just keeps me in case I get distracted looking at things, and then I'm like, oh,
That
minute
does
to go.
happen. Yeah,
Focus
yeah.
in.
Yep,
Okay.
I agree.
Plus, I got my little egg timer for if I start to get distracted in the market. I just set it for random times, and it keeps me on top of things.
Let's go. I like it. All right, guys. Market open coming up here in 20 seconds.
SMCI.
Let's see where the volume is, where the action is this morning. It is Monday. We haven't traded for 2 days. Don't go crazy. Don't get trigger happy. Let's take our time. SMCI.
I might look at SMCI for a rising devil here. If it pops up to VWAP but looks weak, take it short. We'll see what happens. Here's the opening
Right.
bell. Let's see
Okay,
what we
here we
get.
go. All right, let the action begin, friends. PLTR, look at Nvidia, and Tesla are my 3 favorites for today. Tesla getting a nice drop here.
See, this is the warning that I gave you, right? Like, just because the market was trending higher pre-market, don't make assumptions, because already we're getting a push. Now, again, this could reverse. This is very, very early. We're only 30 seconds in, so, but
Yeah.
what are we gonna get?
See,
Come on.
look at this
It
volatility.
did not get a
It's
pop
just
up on
incredible.
SMCI.
Yeah, this volatility is awesome, man. It's just, look at this. Look at this Nvidia. It's just insane. Let me get you guys on the 1 minute. It's a little bit easier to see things.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Looks like AMD. Oh man, look at Nvidia. Very nice. Very, very nice.
There's Apple, right at the open. Apple pushed all the way down off of that. The couple of candles before the open that it had gone up.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft as well, also pushed down heavy. Oh my goodness, and Tesla. Go Tesla, go.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. All right, waiting for a setup here. Andrew taking Tesla long just above the VWAP. That's she took that like a 1 minute engulfing crack here, which again, this will be long here once you get the engulfing pattern. So that's really, really nice. Really strong setup.
Let's go.
What are you looking at, Peter?
SMCI. It's not moving much. I like I said, I saw this before the open. I was hoping that it would pop up. It didn't really. I tried to get in short here anyways. Now it's going right back to my break even. So I don't love that.
So let's see.
I never take any risk on these things in case they pop. So I'm out. I'm out of SMCI. Did not go the direction I was hoping.
Coming up on minute 3, almost here. So Nvidia looking very strong, guys. Just getting above the pre-market highs and just pushing here. Tesla, same thing. Gonna give it a couple of minutes, see if I can get a good nice 5-minute ORB if I could find one.
Keep in mind, we seem to have about a 10-second delay here between what we're actually saying and what what's going on to YouTube. So sometimes the delay is only a second or two. Sometimes it's a little longer.
And make sure you're live, man. I seen it where I look down and I'm not live, and the custom is off. Today's normal, which is good. But just make sure you click live.
Yep.
Let's see. It's pretty good. No, it's pretty good, Peter. I just did a little test there. It's pretty fast. All right, PLTR. Doing some stuff. Nvidia taking off. Andrew parceling. Tesla taking off. This is not gonna give us a 5-minute RB. Look at this thing, man. And I mentioned that, right? Like, we might not get it if things get going pretty fast here. But we're gonna be patient, wait for some kind of pullback to join the party. But it is not a good entry here at all on Tesla, at least. Same with Nvidia. PLTR going south. A lot of pressure on PLTR. This could be a nice short if we get a pullback. A lot of selling pressure here, especially on these first couple of candles here. You see the wick just slamming it back to the VWAP, hitting the low of the day now, or no, I'm sorry, daily level 92.50 that I have marked here. This could be nice. And SPY's looking green right now, at least trying. SMCI, we have in our secondary going the other way. All right, coming up on 5 minutes. What do we have here? Tesla is just too extended for me to take now, man. Nvidia pulling back. If Nvidia can hold the VWAP and we start seeing some strength, this can be a decent long. This can be a decent long. Stream froze. It did. I see myself moving.
Is there?
I don't.
Are we frozen?
I don't see it frozen. No. So maybe check. Okay, we're good. Okay, thanks, Raul, for confirming that. All right, Nvidia pulling back. Tesla leaving us here. Oh man, this is a great 1 minute break, but man, what a nice trade there. Nvidia's going the other way, seeing some weakness here. That could be interesting. Spies pushing higher. NAV7. Sorry, it was my garbage internet. Hopefully it's good. I like this. I like this engulfing we're getting on Nvidia here, right? So look at this engulfing pattern on the 5 minute. This could be nice. This could be interesting here, but I don't want to get caught in chop, right? So let me just wait for a little more confirmation. I find it weird that it's heading south when everything is going. Okay, good. I didn't answer that because look at the spice is breaking higher. So I find it very weird that Nvidia would be selling off like this, right? Okay, so Andrew crushing it on Tesla. He is 11K on Tesla. Still has some shares left. Let's see here. Nvidia. Spies doing his thing. SMCI is messy, coming back down. What you got your eyes on, Peter?
Just watching. Just watching SMCI here to see what it was doing at VWAP. It's like it's dropping a little bit. Tried it short again. See if I get stopped out.
Okay, nice. PLTR had a nice pullback. I'm going to go short PLTR. I missed the best entry would have been somewhere up here off the VWAP. Let's see if we could break down from this 92.50. We had a weak start. We'd love to see this head lower if we can. We don't want to go see it above 93. Will be our stop here. 93.10 off the VWAP there. So we'll see where it goes. And then Nvidia was the other one that might be a good long. Look at Nvidia. I usually don't take 2 trades at a time, but Nvidia might be another one that looks like it wants to go higher. Yeah, we're gonna go long Nvidia here. So I'm short PLTR, long Nvidia. I'm so glad I didn't take Nvidia short, guys. I mean, that would have been pretty bad there. So let's see. So Nvidia long, and then PLTR short. Oh, PLTR is gonna stop us out here. Yeah, PLTR is going to stop us out. Let's see if we can stay below the VWAP here. No, we are not. This thing is going to be strong and probably engulf. So, let's see. I would like to close this candle below the VWAP. It's not going to, looks like. This candle will be important. It's not going to. All right, so we'll get out of this one. Doesn't make sense. But, we're long Nvidia. Let's see if that can get going. Really like the candle I put in over the last. Oh, let me show you guys the 1 minute. It's much cleaner. Here it is.
You're trading against Andrew there.
Who, me?
That's always dangerous. Yeah, Andrew's long PLTR.
My goodness. He bought my shares. I'd send it to him. Because he got in right when I got out. So he bought my shares. Yep. Which makes perfect sense. Like if you see where he got in, that is exactly where the longs are going to get out. I mean, that just makes perfect sense. That's just what I got out. So, yeah, take my shares, Andrew. Do something with them. All right, let's see if we can get something going here on our good buddy NVIDIA. MU from last week is pumping. MU had earnings, right? And they did horrible actually. Well, they didn't do horrible. They did okay. Their stock reaction did horrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The stock reaction was horrible.
Right.
The earnings were, fine.
Awesome.
But
so you're getting a little bit of a pop here on that one. SPY, man. Look at the SPY. We are rocking, baby. Is this the bottom, Peter?
I don't know.
Is this the bottom?
I mean, I try not to speculate on that because I really don't know.
Yeah. I ask, I listen, but again, nobody really knows. And I love when people go on these big channels and they tell you everything. And it's like, yeah, you don't really know. Well, you got to have something to say, but you don't really know.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Affirm pushing up. Affirm is one of these tricky tickers to trade. They don't got much volume right now as I'm looking at it. So just be careful if you have it on deck. For the most part right now, it looks a little messy. But what does their daily look like here? Gapping up as well. Jason, come on, Baba. You trading Baba?
It had a good drop off the open.
A good drop, yeah.
It's sort of moving sideways now, but.
Yep. Why is the market up? Any news? I think there was some tariff news. Ooh, Andrew, I feel your pain. Andrew got out right before the pop on PLTR. Oh yeah, he got out, just took off. Oh, look at this guy. Let's get you blocked. What about that? Go bye. There it is. It's a good way to get attention. Intel short. Come on. All right, NVIDIA is pulling back on me, actually. So NVIDIA, yeah, we might got to stop out NVIDIA. Man, I feel like the minute I get out here, it's gonna bounce back up. It's just the way it's gonna do it here. And the market is going higher. I don't understand what NVIDIA is doing. Let's see here. NVIDIA. This is where we bounced from before. If we make a new low, we'll get out. But and it looks like NVIDIA is going to be the choppy one for the day. It's just back and forth, back and forth. See if we got some buying in here. On NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA going to pull back deeper. It can, man. I mean, we had a great setup here. I love this candle here, pushing higher. But again, we saw this last week where we had some good looks on it, and just look at it now. Look at it just pop up. I just think it's not really the cleanest stock today.
Tesla setting new highs here.
This was the one.
264.
Yeah. My goodness. Let's go. So Tesla. Let me check in here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, Tesla is the one. All right, man. I took a swing last week on Tesla, so that is looking really nice right now. We'll have to take some off today. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Tesla to the moon. NVIDIA. Yeah, I'm just going to get out of this crap. It's probably going to come back up. It's going to keep doing this back and forth, but there's no point in waiting for it to decide what it wants to do. I gave as much room as I possibly can, and every time I do, it shows me some bullish pattern, but it just get out of it. It's just trading so bad here for the most part. Tesla, yeah, it's again, and it might end up going back up, but right now it's trading very, very bad. So it's not looking good at the moment. So this will be a bigger loss than what I would like here on Tesla. I mean, on Nvidia. Look at this. Look, Peter. Are you looking at this madness on Nvidia?
Yeah, Nvidia's definitely choppy today.
It's not in play. Yeah, that was a decent sized loss there. Okay. PLTR. So 2 losses, guys. PLTR, which is not that bad, not that big, but Nvidia was pretty decent here as the chops around. Man, I expected the market to be better. Only one stock was clean, and it was Tesla. So if you guys took Tesla, man, great job. Looks like I might even want to continue this run, but I am not jumping in here because I don't got a strategy here. Nvidia lower place, PLTR did finally break out, but it's not trading great. So Andrew got in right in here. I sold him my shares, but then he got out like right over here.
No, he didn't hold.
Just
he did not hold.
He must have read something in the price action he didn't like. Nvidia chopped me so bad. Yeah, Nvidia is playing just ridiculous games here on Nvidia. I don't know what's up with it. So just be careful, man. Really expected better, cleaner trading out of these tickers today. And Tesla was the only one, but at least I'm getting. I feel happy because I'm getting Tesla on the swing, so I'm happy there. I got some part of the action on that one. I'm still in PLTR. Enter LIF 2. Let's take a look at LIF. Yeah, nice. Not that much volume, but again, just depends on your trading style. Like normally here, I will get back in on Nvidia, but it's been so garbage. Do we trust it to actually go towards the high of the day? But this right here, I will get back long in here. The SPY is doing what it's supposed to do. It's pushing higher. What is your? So I took. So what is my position on Tesla? I took a TSLL, and I didn't take much, man. I bought like, what was it here? Total number of shares about 700. I got only 737 left now. So we took some off on Friday, but yeah, it's just very short swing trades, only cash. So and I only go long. It just tells you like you don't need a whole boatload of money to trade the market. This stock is up. We're up 1,500 on this one from the last week, right? So very short position, a small position. You don't need a whole bunch of cash, man. Just to trade. So there's so many different ways to trade. You could swing, you could do options, you could do so many things. At the end of the day, so experience and discipline. I think you do those two things right, and you'll be okay. And look at Nvidia just making fools out of us this morning, guys. So please be careful. Yeah, it is making fools out of us, man. It really is.
I got the same problem on SMCI here. It's looking for a short on it, and it's just not cooperating.
No, I do. Morpheus, I do have a margin account, of course, because to be able to day trade, you have to have a margin account, right? But this is TD Ameritrade, so it's different than Dash Trader Pro. But I still have margins on this one. But there's something about when you take a swing, just cash, meaning like you're not using margins, right? So let's say, for example, in this trade, I took $4,000 of, because with TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, you can put just $4,000 and it'll calculate whatever the number of positions you want. So you just take $4,000, put it on there, and there's a peace of mind that you're not going to lose what you don't have. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just psychologically, I can hope those to go through some pullbacks, no problem. So it's just nice peace of mind. You could make more if I were to take a whole bunch of money on the margins, but why do that when you're exposing your risk too much? So the same trade we took with QB, you guys remember we took also QBTS. We took this one for a long. This was nice, same thing. We took only $2,000, and it was really nice. We got We did pretty good on that. We got like almost 2,000. So that was nice. Look at PLTR. Oh my goodness. Andrew would have money for another Lambo if PLTR would have worked. Oh, look at this. Guys, you guys take PLTR? My trade was on PLTR. Javier, nice. Did you take it, man? I want to see. You know what? We got to set up a way to for you guys to send us your screenshot of your trades. I want to see your screenshots, and we could bring it up here. We got to set up a way to do that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool, yeah, because I want to see what you guys take and how you do it.
Live YouTube.
Yeah, they can't, right? They can't send it to us, but we got to figure out a way to get it. Well, we'll do something, and it's got to be better than emails. It can't be emails because I'm not logging into my emails to pull screenshots. It's got to be nice and simple, like a Telegram. Man, PLTR. My goodness. Everything's having fun, and Nvidia's just horrible. Back and forth action. So glad I'm out of that. Yeah. It's a very interesting day, Peter. I don't know what to say. I'm surprised with some of the actions we saw here on Nvidia. Meta, just going through the Magnificent Seven. Here's Apple, right? So also very choppy. And it's funny that the two I had, Nvidia and Apple, both were choppy. Tesla was the only one, but didn't give us a 5-minute ORB. Amazon, that was a nice breakout. This is John breakout, high of day over here. So nice breakout. They're trading much cleaner. Google, nice stuff out of there. Come out of the tech sector. Yeah, right. I will. I'm just looking at the Max 7 to see what else is going on. Meta, everything else traded pretty decent besides Nvidia. The one I chose was the worst one. Wow.
I'm not feeling that happy with SMCI this morning. I'll say that. So
yeah. Man. All right, let's go to crypto. So let's take a look at crypto. Hood is I did say Hood was one of my favorite ones. It did trade very well. Yeah, up 8%, 10 million here. Much cleaner than everything else I had on my list besides Tesla. Mara, nah, I don't like Mara as much. Hood was nice. How about the quantum stuff, guys? I know some of you guys were watching the quantum stuff. QBTS. I like this ticker, QUBT. Yeah, just everything green, everything nice. IonQ gets a lot of volume. Yeah, nice initial pops here. TSLL to the moon. I see Andrew's watching that one now. Tesla was his big winner today. He's probably thinking why he didn't take TSLL. Probably thinking that.
Probably.
Let's see here what we got going on. Oh yeah.
Come on, SMCI. You're just moving sideways. I shouldn't have focused on something new. Wow, Tesla. Move of the day, though, on Tesla for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, PLTR had a nice move, too, but Tesla was like right off the open. The opening minute, pulled back just for 1 minute, and then off to the races.
So good, man. So it's funny. I was by West Point, which is a military post here where students go and they do their stuff. And I was there hanging out on Saturday, and I see these they're so young, man. These kids, I call them kids because they're so young. They're in uniform, and they're driving. They're pulling to the McDonald's, and I'm by the park. They're pulling to the McDonald's. It's right before the main entrance, and they're driving a Tesla. And they get out of Tesla, and my thought goes to, how can you possibly, start damaging people's cars without knowing that could be a person that's actually, going to eventually defend your country, do something for your country? Like, it makes no sense, Peter. So it got me thinking about all these articles about people hating Tesla and the people that drive Tesla. Like, how can you hate these guys? Like, how can you sit here and hate people that are going to eventually defend your country? It just doesn't make any sense. So it's just it's so polarizing. It's unreal. Yeah. But yeah, Tesla's showing us today who's boss. as they continue to push higher. Man, 268. Awesome. Yeah, 100%.
A lot of stuff happening these days doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So
it's like the riots. Like you said this earlier, right? The riots. Um, it's like you got these towns that get mad, and they go mess up the Walgreens and all these stores, whatever. And I'm like, you do know who works there, right? It's not the executive from Walgreens. It's like your
right.
sister, man. Maybe your mother, your uncle. You know who works there, right? It's not
Yeah.
you're hurting them. They're not gonna get a paycheck. So you're not destroying Walgreens. You're destroying a building in your community. So just think. Just stop and think a little bit. Um,
Yeah. Sometimes when people get angry, they just stop the thinking.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, trader. Again, we're not gonna get into left or
So
right. There's no right or wrong here, right? Just like anything, there both sides have good things they have. Both sides have bad things they do, right? So we can. I wish that we can get to a point where more people are happy than half and half, and we just can't get there. But it is what it is. We can't get into it because we're gonna make half the people are gonna be mad, half the people are gonna be happy, no matter what you say. But it's just politics, man. Just gotta leave it at
yeah.
that.
So this weekend, interestingly, came into a stark difference between Canadian and American politics when the government announced a federal election yesterday. Just yesterday, they announced the election.
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you know when the Canadian federal election is happening?
Ain't like Friday.
No, well, they announced the election on Sunday, and it's happening April the 28th. So, our entire pre-election political campaigns and everything, they have like 5 weeks. That's it.
It's
Like
crazy.
no 2 years worth of election stuff. We got 5 weeks,
Make
and
your
then
point.
it's
Make your
done.
point fast.
Yeah,
Get to the
it's
point.
it,
What do you got to offer? And that's what we're voting
uh,
for. I think
yeah.
ours in the U.S. is too long, man. I mean, it's just we start doing it. Like, they start talking like years ahead. I'm like, it's just too long, man. Like, let's
Uh,
make it shorter. It's way too long. Um, I wish it was a lot quicker.
Seems crazy
Uh,
to me how long the elections are. I mean, ours seems a little absurdly short for a federal election, but hey, that's the process, I guess. So there's got to be a
yeah,
happy medium in between somewhere. Oh well.
yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
that's what it is.
Absolutely. Um, all right, guys. Everything I like is gone. Let's see.
It's
Spy is
gone.
pushing higher. Yeah, man. And Nvidia is eventually going to break out, I hope, and maybe we could take advantage of it. But Tesla is pulling back here. Uh, Somebody asked in chat, when is PLTR reversing? Who knows, man? We'll have to wait for like some kind of very good double bottom, double top pattern right now.
Mm.
Right now, this thing is out. It's out the window. Dave, love when we discuss stocks. Hey, when we discuss politics. Yeah, I think we kept it pretty light on politics. We didn't really get into all the sexy, heavy stuff that can get people upset. So that was light. That was light. If you didn't like that, then I don't know what else to tell you. But that was very light. PLTR looking
I'm waiting
good.
on SMCI, by the way. I am
You
short for a
still.
third time. Oh yeah, I'm hanging in here because I got
uh,
short way back
yeah,
like 15 minutes ago, or almost 20 minutes ago now, and I'm just
yeah,
waiting. It keeps sort of bouncing higher, and it's putting in these lower highs, so
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
good. But it wouldn't take much to break through it and stop me. The good news is that my stop outs are all break even, so I don't.
yeah,
It's not costing me much. Just to sit and wait.
yeah, yeah. It's staying below the VWAP. I like that. Like on the 5 minute,
Yep.
it's not getting above. That's good. Even the 1 minute, you can see how nicely it's trending down. And I hope by the time it gets to that
Well,
40-80, you get a nice flush down there.
well, it's the problem is it's getting stuck in a range. Like I said, it's got lower highs, but if you look at the other side, it's also got higher lows, right? Like it's oh, I don't know. I look at a 1 minute chart, so well, you can see it there. Yeah, you've got it up on the screen. So it's really tightening into a range here, which means that it's going to break out to one side or the other. I just hope it's in my favor, which would mean to the downside, but it's really uncertain. So I'm not I'm not counting on it too much. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, so be it.
Yeah, yeah. Any advice to a novice or learning in his education phase and after the education? That's a great question. So much, man. I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, there's so many things to look at. I don't know, Peter. I don't know how to answer that.
Well, it depends how novice you are, but Daniel, I would say if you're really, really just getting started, the best thing you can do is, get yourself familiar with a couple of different market strategies. Just understand, what is an opening range breakout? What does that mean? You can find all sorts of videos on it and how that works. What does a reversal trade look like in general? What are some patterns? And just keep those in the back of your head, and then just watch the markets. Just watch and see what can you see. And at first you might see nothing. It's sort of like, I always use the analogy of, when I first went on a racetrack with my car. The guys talked about all these turning apex, and they put cones out and all sorts of stuff. And they said, just follow they're going to have a professional driver in front of you. Just follow that driver, and he'll sort of lead you through the course. And the first couple of times around the track, I couldn't see anything but the bumper in front of me. And if the bumper got closer, you knew to hit the brakes. If the bumper got farther away, hit the gas. If the bumper moved a little bit to the right of me, turn the wheel. Like, I just literally followed the bumper. My brain couldn't process anything other than that bumper. But after a couple of times around the track, I started to realize, holy crap, there are cones out here showing the braking points and the apex of the turn. And the stuff that they told me about in the training, it took me a few laps to even my brain to sort of be able to process the data fast enough to be able to pay attention to the driver in front of me and to see the cones. I think trading's a lot the same way. When you first watch the markets, you're not going to see 90% of what's happening. You can't. It's moving too fast. Your brain is not used to processing that data. So those strategies that you looked at, you're probably not going to see any of them, but just watch. And eventually it'll be staring at one of those, Carlos, what were those like, those weird color things where you stare at it long enough and then a picture would materialize? Those.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what the name for is.
80s, and I can't remember what they were. Anyways, but it's like staring at or a Rorschach picture or whatever the heck those are. Was it stereo? The magic eye. That's the thing. The magic eye pictures. Anyways, I find the markets are like that. You stare at them long enough, you'll start to see something. And the thing is, everybody's different. You might start to see opening range breakouts. Me, I started to see reversals. That's the first thing that made sense to me. So that'll give you, whatever you start to see first, might give you an idea of where to start to focus your trading strategies, and then build that out. And then focus a little more. Okay, so what does an actual reversal strategy look like? What signals would I have to see? How do I recognize those? Now, how do I know when it's a good time to take a trade and when I should avoid a trade? So I think if you're just starting, that's my best advice, is research the strategies, understand you're not going to see them, but just watch the markets. And not just for like a minute or an hour. I'm talking about watch the markets for at least a week or two, and then figure out what you start to see. Then worry about putting on a trade, because if you worry about putting on trades the very first time you jump into the market, it would be like never having touched a soccer ball before and jumping into the soccer pitch and expecting to score a goal. I mean, how unrealistic is that, right? What's going to happen is you're going to get the ball stripped from you, and you're standing there going, "Well, I didn't even get a chance to shoot," right? Or if you do shoot, it's going to be a wild shot, and you're not even anywhere near the net. Trading's the same way. So just give yourself time to observe the game, understand what's actually happening. Then you can worry about starting to put a trade on. So that would be my advice for a beginner.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, man. I am seeing long in the video here, like a breakout maybe about to happen. I do like to ask. We have a couple of asks sitting a little bit higher there on 120.50. So we'll see where it goes.
Having a good morning.
But yeah, long in the video for now. I do see. Oh, there it is. I do see.
270 inbound.
Yeah, Tesla.
Here on Tesla.
Tesla is wild. Someone asked if Tesla, when is Tesla reversing? I don't know, man. I would not.
No idea.
No idea, and I don't know, man. This is a freight train right now.
We'll let you know when we see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going. It's pushing hard here.
Yeah, no sign yet.
Yeah, yeah. Someone said AMD. Why? What's going on with AMD? Yeah, it's just very choppy. Like, right, look at this 5 minute, just pure chop, and then a nice breakout here. So it's kind of like what I see with Nvidia, but it's even nastier. I'm hoping to catch that breakout if we can. It seems to started to do higher lows, higher highs, so that got me interested. But we'll see if we can actually continue that higher highs, higher lows, and then get a breakout towards the high of the day. That would be awesome if we could do that. But again, we just could be stuck in more chop here. We'll see. We'll see if we can hold. But yeah, AMD's breakout, man. The AMD really took off here. Overall SPY, SMCI, not doing much. What are you guys watching? TEM, Tempest AI. Yeah, the thing with this one, I mean, look, it looks frozen. It's hard to trade this one. Like, look at this 1 minute at the market open. We were talking about last week that, you know, we could look at a stock now after trading for so long, and you'll be able to do this too if you haven't got there, and you could tell, yeah, I would have taken the long here. There's no way I would have taken a trade anywhere here to catch this opportunity. It's just, look at every candle, it's just nasty. So yeah, now it's starting to get a little better, and by the time you got the bigger picture, it looks like it traded well, but there's just no entry here for me on this one, unfortunately. So MU, what is wrong with you, Nvidia? MU, AMD doing their thing, and the one I'm trading, for some, I can't say reason, it's garbage. Like, what is wrong with you?
It's just teasing you, Carlos.
No, it really is messing me up here. Unreal. Like, just get the breakout going. Everybody wants to go long. Everybody's happy today. Everything is in the green, and you're over here acting with this nonsense. So MU, look at this.
Gone red.
Oh wait, I'm thinking more semis, right? Like, look at MU, look at AMD. There's just. Mr. David says, so is Intel, INTC. Yeah. Well, they gapped up, right? But they're not pushing higher after the open, right? And that's kind of what we saw with MU. Like, everything gapped up today. Everything was green. But we're not getting the continuation like we got with Tesla, up 8%. My goodness, started at 4. We're up 8%. Time to short everything? I don't know.
I
don't know about that
quite yet. I don't know.
Spy
Not by
showing
my
some
signals.
weakness, but
Yeah, it's early for me. If a reversal starts now, then it'll be going without me, because it's not.
Samuel says, if you go long, if Carlos goes long, I go short. Absolutely. Today you want to do that all day long, and you're gonna make some decent bucks here, man.
Yeah.
Because the
For
market's
every
not treating
trader,
you well.
Yeah, you know, we can all resemble that remark, can't we? You know, when
Facts. Yeah.
when you get on those days where it just feels like, doesn't matter what I do, if I just done the opposite, I would be doing fantastic.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Now we're coming back
Those are horrible days.
coming back to this area where I got out before and it bounced, but I'm here. What am I gonna do, Carlos? What are you gonna do?
You talking to yourself in the third person?
I am talking to myself. Yes.
All right. Are you listening?
This is unbelievable, man. This is unbelievable. I'm just gonna get out. This is this is pointless today. I'm trading this damn chop. Can you review your trade reversal timing, etc.? Yes, we're coming up on that, right, Peter? We're coming up on like 10:30. We start seeing some of those good ones. Andrew will be on at 10:30, so we talk through his trades and see what he did on Tesla. I think that's all he traded. It was one and done for him. Oh no, he traded PLTR. Carlos is getting upset. Dave. Oh man, what a day, man! What a day. It's okay. Not a great to start the week, but it's all right. It's all right. All right, let's PLTR he got stuck on, so we'll see what happens there. All right. Yeah, man, it's rough. Tesla pushing higher. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Some days are just like that.
Yeah, man. And it's funny because I thought today I got the best sleep in like the last week because my wife flew back yesterday, so she helped out this morning with the kids. I got great sleep. I'm gonna go back to not sleeping, and I was trading better when I was getting 4 hours sleep last week, 5 hours sleep. I'm like, what? Today I literally got 8 hours. I'm feeling awesome. Maybe I'm just overly excited.
Yeah, maybe that's
That
it.
could be it.
Too much adrenaline. Too much
I'm
excitement.
I'm really gonna tonight. Gonna bet at 1 o'clock. Waking up at 5. I'm just gonna. It worked last week.
Binging movies or something.
I'm gonna. Jesus Christ, what's going on? It's madness. Surf bar. Yeah, it's one of those days, man, where I'm just off. Last week we had losses, but we had like good losses, like 1 or 2 losses, and then later in the day I got a trade, cover the loss, and then some, and that happened like 3 times, right? Great, but it was great trading. Today is just bad trading. Like this is just bad trading. There's no excuse for this at all, and that's okay. That's okay. We'll come back and reset. Okay, we are getting some pullbacks. I'm not saying reversals, right? But you can see Tesla here is pulling back. Let's see what it does. On the 1, it's on the 9. Sorry, the 20. So bouncing off the 20 here. Let's see if it's going to lose that there. Carlos, Nada goes to 121 eventually. And I mean Nvidia goes to 121. I think that's what you said. Nvidia goes to 121. I think so. I think eventually it should push higher here, but it is just the ugliest thing I seen this morning. It's Nvidia, and it's the one I touched twice already. So I'm gonna keep my hands away from that thing, no matter what it does. Just stay away from it. PLTR pullback. Tesla's showing a little bit of weakness. And what is the SPY doing? Good buddy, the SPY. SPY is pushing higher. Q's pushing higher. It is so bad, Dad. Over on YouTube, so bad. Like you don't want to touch Nvidia. Anything else but Nvidia. I picked the worst thing to trade this morning. But how about you guys? I saw you guys mention a couple of things for that. We were watching QUBT, Tesla. Anything else? Peter, are you quietly trading SMCI? Are you short?
No, well, I'm just hanging on by my teeth here on SMCI, but it's just about to stop me out. It looks like. So,
okay. Oh, you're still in it. Okay.
I'm still in it for the moment, but it doesn't look great here for me either. So I haven't had any big losses, but I can't get anything to run here. So
yeah.
There we go. I just got stopped out. So out of SMCI, looks like it was going top side, not lower. So
look at Tesla bouncing off the 20. Wants to go higher, man. This thing's strong. So careful on
Tesla's still hanging out here at the high. It's retesting 270. It looks like for a second time. We'll see if it can actually break through. 269.72's the highest it got last time. So get over that. It'll set a new high for the day.
MSTU. Look at what ETF is this for? Opportunities Trust. Well, what is this ETF for? Along MSTR. Okay. All right. Look at that. MSTR doing some stuff this morning.
MSTR.
Yeah. Then you have MLGO. Micro Algo. Yeah, this has had a decent days today, but MSTR, man, this is
there we go.
Rocking.
Tesla hit 270, rocking higher.
New user says AMD, I hate you.
AMD, I
What?
like AMD in this type of move for a potential reversal. Not now, but
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if we get some signals. This big, sudden, strong move higher usually are good ones for reversals. So right now, AMD and Tesla are the top of my list as reversal potentials, but it's still early. We're only a quarter after 10. My reversal signals usually, you know, about now start building, and then come to fruition sometime in the next 30 minutes or so. So we'll see.
Yeah.
See if that provides opportunity today. It might not, but right now they both still look strong.
Look at him. Look at Nvidia. Look at Nvidia. There's an engulfing pattern in the 5 minute. I mean, it's just.
No, it looks ugly.
No, I'm not
It looks
touching.
ugly.
I'm so kidding. I'm not touching this no more. It is messy, messy. That would have me though. The old me would have been here long time ago, maybe a couple of times, and averaging down, but not yet. We're not touching this here.
Boy,
But I think it's gonna.
Andrew's got such an awesome trade on Tesla. If you
Yeah,
look,
let's
he
look at
added
it.
actually just before the 270 break, and
Yeah,
he's got it on the screen there. If you're able to
yeah. I'm
pull
gonna
it
bring
up.
it up here. Here it is. It's a little small. Let me see if I could do something different. Can I do it like this? But our cameras are not gonna be on because this is his camera he's on. But you can see it here, man. Look at this entry, partials. Surprised he didn't add anywhere down here. It's
No,
all
he only
partials
added just a few
just
minutes
now.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we talked about this, right? Like, be careful with this pullback. It might actually not be a reversal, and the stock is strong. Look at this, pushing higher. Just awesome, man.
Hmm.
Good.
Great move.
I strongly believe that Nvidia is gonna push higher above the pre-market, at the high of the day today. Like, it's just I can't see why the stock is not doing that. And it might just not happen until probably 10:30, 11. Kind of like we saw last week. We saw Tesla. Tesla saved me a couple of times last week when it did that. It was very choppy. Then 10:30, 11, when Avi and Paris were trading it, or Avi, I'm sorry, no, Paris, you saw the breakout and made some really great moves. Nvidia and Tesla both did that. Tesla obviously doing it much earlier today, but I think Nvidia is going to be on that boat. So I'll be looking at it, but probably won't be taking another trade on it for today. All money goes to Tesla. Absolutely.
It does seem to be a place where things are funneling to this morning.
Yeah. All right, guys. Andrew up in about a couple of minutes here, 10:30 with Brian. We'll walk over his trades, and then we have Paris at 11. Looking forward to see what he did. I'm sure he's gonna be "I love you, Tesla,"
Yeah.
all day today.
You expect them
Um,
to, right?
I
I mean,
expect
that's
him
his
to.
signature line.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's see. Has he even posted? I don't think he's even posted a
Is he
trade
trading
today.
today? I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he's out there. He
Okay.
did post before the open, but I haven't seen him post any trades. So maybe he's having a rough day. Maybe he missed it. I don't know. That would be
Yeah.
unusual for him. But I don't care how good you are, right? I mean that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um, why did Elon Musk brother sell his Tesla stock? Who knows? How much did he sell? Like, right? Because we hear that a lot. Oh, the owner sold stock, but how much did he sell, and how much he still has? It's important. Because we
right.
see like somebody has 500 million and they sold 10 million. That's nothing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's not. He wants to buy a car or a couple of boats and yachts. That's okay. So now if he sold all of it, okay, then he knows something we don't know.
Yeah.
We see Jeff Bezos do that all the time. He'll sell a couple. Mark Zuckerberg will sell a couple,
Yeah.
millions, and it's nothing compared to what they hold. Man, wow, Tesla is it's so fun to see. Okay, look at Nvidia. Do we feel a little happy? Nvidia. Oh man, oh man.
You're dying to make it work, aren't you?
Third time is a charm,
You
Peter.
can hear it in your voice. You're just
Third
like,
time is a charm.
but I don't know. You do you. It's not my trade, so.
I like that. You do you. That's exactly what I'll tell you. You do you. I see Andrew disconnecting from chat, so he might be connecting with us here shortly. We'll get with him in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching Nvidia, man. I think this will be the one eventually. I have leaves on it. All right, let me switch. I'm gonna turn off my triangles if Andrew's gonna come on, because it does get confusing to see my triangles when he's talking about something else. So I'll do that now while he's getting ready to come on. So we'll just hide these here, and then there we go. So at least it doesn't get confusing. We'll leave it hidden on this chart, and I'll keep it on this chart. So when he's talking about something, somebody jumps in, they're like, what is he talking about? Doesn't match the charts. Yeah. T-Man, don't do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it, man. As much as I think, I strongly believe this thing is gonna go past the high of the day, 121. Strongly believe that, but I'm just not in the right mindset, man, to take another trade on this. But if you have ammo left, consider a possible trade. Maybe not now, but eventually later today on Nvidia. Friends, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. Really appreciate it. As we watch these markets, if you want to see Andrew trading live the first hour, he is available in a chat. We have a discount for $19, gets you access to not just the chat room, which is amazing, by the way. We're trading live there all day, but also look at Nvidia Go here, but also the classes, the courses, the strategies that we trade. My onboarding class coming up tonight. Today's a perfect day to join. Got the onboarding class with me coming up tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can come in, we can ask questions, we can hang. So yeah, so definitely take a look at that. Some of you guys asked me for Avi's trading. He has his mentorship and live trading through tradingterminal.com academy, so you can check that there. And yeah, just a bunch of stuff happening. Tesla's moving. It never stopped. Oh, he says still moving. Gotcha, Mr. David. Yeah, still moving. Yeah, it never stopped, man. This thing is it's a beast. Peter, you know what car looks great? I think all Teslas look the same, but again, I'm just looking from the outside in. And I like the company, I like Elon, regardless of whatever political thing you like. It doesn't matter. But there's one that, man, if you look at the back of this thing, it looks nice. Like, it's aggressive. The wheels are wide. I don't know what model it is, but every time I see that one, I was like, that does not look like a Tesla. That thing looks like it can tear the roar apart, man. It looks so good. So I got to go on the website and see what that is. But it's flat. It's low to the ground. It's wide. And I'm like,
I don't know what one. I don't know which one that model that
this
is.
thing it looks like it could do some damage. Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. Yeah.
It's got a car crush. I like it.
Yeah, no, if I get a Tesla, it's that one for sure. Like, you could tell, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's tough getting a Tesla. I'm not sure well, maybe you wait, get some good discounts soon. It feels like.
Oh, so Yamaha has one. He says it's the S model. And it does rip. I had mine for 8 years. Nice. It looks very aggressive. Like, yeah. So awesome. Cool. How is it Tesla for 8 years so far? I don't know anybody that has had a Tesla for that long. How is that going for you? Maintenance wise and all that here is amazing. As we continue to move here.
Mm-hmm. Watching AMD had a little bit of a pullback, retesting the high again. So, like I said, keeping an eye on it, see when it's going to make. Fortunately, didn't really signal a reversal yet. This is just a little bit of a pullback.
I think now is the time, Peter. It is time for Nvidia. Yeah, I'm telling you, it is time.
Careful. Are you really seeing the technical signals, or is this?
It's the same technical signals I've been seeing for the last 2 trades. Staying above the VWAP, making a new high. It's the same thing. Higher highs, higher low. Mm-hmm. It's just the last 2 trades hasn't worked out. Right. But I'm seeing those same signals again for the 3rd time. you know, it looks good. It looks good for a possible
Okay.
long here. Now, do I want to take do I want to risk another loss on this? Probably not, right? Because I could be wrong. Nothing is for sure.
Right.
So I think that's going to stop me from taking it. But it looks really good. Like if I hadn't had two losses on this thing, I'll be long again here for a possible breakout. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll be watching this. But I really think this is going to eventually break out here. All right, see Andrew. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning,
Andrew's,
brother.
how are
Can you hear me,
you?
Carlos?
Andrew.
Yep, I hear you. Let me get the audio to the
So I think
chat.
you should. I think you should put it in the chat room as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn on right now. Give me 1 second. Let me send that over, and then I'll get you guys. All right, so chat just confirmed we got audio, and then I see Andrew's here. Andrew,
Perfect.
great trade, man. We couldn't hear what you were saying, but what happened with PLTR, man? You had it. You had that. What happened? Like
know.
all I saw you do this, and we couldn't tell what took place.
Yeah.
I know. I got cold feet on PLTR for some reason. I took a big size, and I don't know why. I wasn't really thinking. There was no sign for me to get out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. Oh man. All right. Well, great trade on Tesla. That was insane.
Thanks,
All right,
man. I
friends
saw
over on
that
YouTube, we'll leave you. Say it again.
Sorry, I was going to say that you were trying to catch this freaking breakout on NVIDIA. Couldn't know.
Nvidia's, yeah. I think eventually it'll do it, but it's been so messy, man. It just keeps
Yeah.
chopping me
It's been
around. Yeah, it's been hard.
Yeah,
I think
NVIDIA
eventually it'll
seems
do it,
that
but
it's-
it's not good.
Yeah, NVIDIA seems that it's really struggling right now. So.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just very messy.
um,
Is Brian joining you? I don't see him.
No,
on.
Brian had to leave, so Brian left.
Okay. All right, so. All right, so maybe me, the Amir, Peter will join you for a sec, so you're not alone here. Peter, you want to take it, or you want me to take it? How you feel?
Doesn't matter. I'm just still watching the markets. I'm waiting for an opportunity. So nice.
Cool. All right, I'll put
Slow.
your camera on. I'll be here as well, so we'll be
Sure.
watching. I'm gonna stay away from Nvidia though.
Yeah,
All
well,
right, guys.
Carlos, don't get yourself stuck in that. It's tempting, I know.
Yeah, Tesla is just keep reaping. Wow, 273. I'm out most of it. I only have 151 shares. Just want to hold it to be part of history. But Tesla is reaping really bad. Guys, I'll be back in a second. Just give me 1 second. I'll need to go to the bathroom.
Yep. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
This is. What is it gonna do? Infect the keyboard?
Threw you off?
Yes.
Well, you know,
Gotta love this.
gotta
I'm
do the
having-
parenting thing every once in a while. Got to keep them
Yeah.
understood there.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, guys. I said I'm watching AMD, looking for signs of a reversal. Oh, Kyle, that's just gross. Now, come on. But
Look at these couches.
not quite.
What are these new couches? Is that for us on the VIP get together? That looks nice.
Are those new? I don't remember those being in his apartment before.
I don't remember that
like
being
just-
there last time I went. Yeah.
No, has he rented those for the
They look
for
very
that
fluffy.
VIP event maybe?
Yeah.
Or is
I
he
don't know.
like? Is he going like? Is that for like the? Oh, maybe I shouldn't say it. Anyways, maybe he's doing some sort of movies.
Stop right there. You're right there, Peter. All right, moving on.
Fine.
As we can see
Yeah.
here, Tesla is up to 10% this morning. Yeah. Back to stocks as quickly as we can. All right. Oh, man.
I found out how to make Carlos uncomfortable. So
I didn't know where it was going. I'm like, I'm here like shaking yes. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
exactly.
That
Threw
is
you
not where we
completely
thought
off.
this is going to go. Oh, man. This is awesome. All right, guys. Hopefully you're having a great day. Look, okay, so I'm gonna stop talking about Nvidia. I was gonna say something, but I'm just gonna stop. Let's look at something else. PLTR, Tesla going higher. SMCI finally looks like it wants to break down. I know you've been watching this one, Peter.
Yeah.
Here. So
I've got my my market direction, my reversal alarm. You were noting my alarms earlier, so another alarm.
So
going
far
off.
we counted 4, I believe 4 so far.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we counted 4 alarms.
Absolutely.
How many alarm Peter has here?
Yeah, well, it's it's good to be reminded. So that
I know you have a 1 to 10 comes on.
Yeah, well, that's later, much later. Yeah.
Yep.
But absolutely.
So we'll see here. All right, Tesla ripping higher. As I was telling our YouTube friends, I have a swing on Tesla from last week. Only swing trade I have open. I don't have nothing else. Last one I had was the quantum stuff. So I think I have to close that out today. This move is too big, and usually after big moves like this, you start getting these pullbacks. So I think there's no reason to leave it open.
Right.
Just look at this daily. This is a big move, man. Next level I have is 277.25, and we're going right to it. It looks like so. Let's see how that ends up. But yeah, man, what a trade. It's funny. I almost closed it on Friday because we had a good day on Friday, and I actually forgot to look at it. Once I picked up the kids, I'm like, I'm not gonna look at this no more, and just woke up today.
Just let it run. Oh, it worked out for you.
Yeah, glad I did. Hood still going. Yeah, we saw Hood earlier today in chat. Someone called it out. This thing is still ripping. Yeah, so this is doing pretty well. Up 9.3, 18 million. Again, out of all the stocks I did today, I picked probably the worst one, but there was a lot of good opportunities, guys. So awesome if you took advantage of it. This morning, Apple short. Let's take a look at Apple. I don't see a signal. I mean, it's just kind of stuck here. It is making lower lows, lower highs here in the big picture, but it seems like a mini Nvidia. Richard just texted me here, says, don't look. And I'm assuming you mean don't look at Nvidia, and I probably won't. I don't have it up. I'm probably not going to look at it because I can only imagine what it looks like. Going to hold probably Tesla 200 EMA. Where's the 200 here? Let's see. Yeah, we're below it, right? We're well below it here. That's up at around 2. This will be, if I show you guys the right screen over here, it's around 284. So we're ways from it, but this thing is rocking. How about you guys over in our chat? How you guys do today? Here's Avi. Let's see what Avi did today. Just 23,000 for Avi on the SPY. So he took the market long. A little pocket change from my brother there. Awesome, great job, man. So that's Avi. If you guys want to see Avi trading live, you can go to tradingterminal.com Academy. He has all his information there. So he does his mentorship stuff through there, where he trades live with his mentees. So that's available to you if you want to do that. Tesla seems toppy here. Yeah, it seemed toppy earlier too, right? Like earlier, it seemed like it was gonna lose it, and then it just took off again, like right here, right? And we had a level to play it off too, so we'll see. But obviously, it's really extended now, right? So let's see. Closing my Nvidia longs now. Well, okay, I could look at Nvidia now because probably all right. So you did get the breakout, yeah, but you know it was not crazy breakout. Like I was looking for a high of the day on both of these trades, so it's not that bad, but better than the way I ended it. So this is still pretty messed up, man. Pretty choppy on Nvidia. So not good. Keep an eye on PLTR. Might do break of high. Let's see PLTR. Yeah, it's holding pretty nice here, kind of like an ABCD pattern forming on PLTR. So yeah, you might see something go there. So see if loses 230. 230. What stock is that? What stock you talking about? I don't see anything close to 230 here. Unless Apple. No, not Apple. Not even.
Oh, come on, AMD. You gonna give me any signals? No. Tesla's also not giving signals here that reversal is imminent.
Yeah, this thing is strong, man. And I think even the signals might not be. Gotta be careful. They gotta be solid, right? Like A quality type signals. You looking for a mountain pass here on the 1 minute or the 5?
I watch the one primarily.
You watch the 1. Okay.
So.
Oh, this is
Well,
some decent
Tesla's
selling
now
there.
looking-
Okay.
Yeah, Tesla's.
Some good selling happening there.
Okay, a little better.
I saw a headline. Trade-ins are high on Tesla. So some people are trading in their Tesla vehicles. So that spiked up. Okay. I'm just seeing any headlines here, but nothing new from this morning as far as headline. Andrew's washing hands. Yeah, but he is washing his hands, but he went down to the lake to do it, so it's gonna take a little bit for him to get back. Just be a little patient as we. Do we have
I'm
some
waiting
elevator
to
music?
see him out in the window, like out in the water there or something.
This is if you thought he was just gonna go like to the next room over, no, he's down by the lake. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes here. All right.
He's got some real problems. I hope he turns the fan on.
Can we please look at AMD? Yeah, we've been looking at AMD, man. AMD is just another one looking like a Tesla here, just taking off. And Peter's watching for a possible mountain pass reversal. And Tesla, same thing, right? All these are very extended. And NVIDIA, it's making me look like a fool today. It's okay. I'll give it to them today. And here it is, pushing higher. Ivo on chat, yep. I think that might be coming. Again, I don't trade reversals, but if I do, the mountain pass is it's a nice one. All right, there's some sell off, Peter, but you didn't get your signal though.
No, I did. Unfortunately, not. So.
Yep. Nice big sell down there for PLTR. NVIDIA, although it's staying above the VWAP, is still so messy. Like you're not getting a clean break. A couple of pops really quick. Maybe you could take quick partials. Good for scalping, but you're not getting that nice PLTR type breakout. This was beautiful, man. This was really nice. So there it is. I sold my shares to Andrew. I was telling people on YouTube. So I went short and I sold my shares to Andrews, unfortunately, on PLTR. That was a small trade. NVIDIA was the one that got us today, unfortunately. Peter, what is this alarm?
That was just a repeat of the other one. I guess I didn't hit stop, so
okay.
It goes 9 minutes later. So
because that was at definitely a random time.
Yeah, it was just a repeat.
All right, Andrew's back, and we're just looking at Tesla pull back a little bit here.
How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Excited for Vancouver.
You okay? Do you need some Imodium or something? It seemed like that was a rough break.
Peter, I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to make that joke.
All right, fair.
Um, so,
What's with
um,
the we were asking, since we were focused, your camera was focused on the new sofas behind you. What's up with them?
uh, yeah, there are new sofas. I got because that area was empty, and now I got this sofa that are really comfortable, and it's then next to the fireplace, and just sit down and really having a good time. It's more like a loungy, chill area, and just that type of thing. I have the TV room over there, but this one is more like a
Yeah, very very red velvet sofas going on. That's a statement. Oh well, you know what, Carlos, you and I, just in a week, 5 days from now, we
we'll be
can
trying this out.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll get we'll take a snap of us on the sofas. All right, how about that?
Absolutely.
Add
Absolutely.
that to the room.
Yes, yes.
yeah. So okay, so let's see. Um, Peter, how was your trading at the Open? Did you trade well at the Open?
No, not really. Not really. I was trying to get SMCI to go lower, and it wouldn't. So that was a couple of break even stop outs for me. And now I'm just watching to see what's happening at the top here, whether we get a reversal on Nvidia or AMD. So
Um, SMCI, what a disgusting price action on SMCI.
mm-hmm. Turns out it has been. Yes.
Um, yeah, so Ryan is coming for BC. Now, honestly, guys, the ticket to Vancouver, all of it goes for food because we provide a lot of food and it's expensive. So everything that you're paying is essentially 3 days of food: breakfast, coffee breaks, snacks, dinner, and it's really high quality food. So I actually, as a matter of fact, lose probably something around $120,000 on this event, which is fine. I love to do that, but the cost is like sometimes people are asking me a discount and stuff. It's really not. It's not a for-profit event. It's just bringing the community together, and everything goes to food. And I was yesterday, last year, somebody was coming to me and say, "Hey, Andrew, you got to charge us more. The food was so great." Um, in reality, is all food. Like if this event to be profitable for 200 people should be around $1,200 or $1,100, the cost of everything, if it wants to be like profitable. But we want to keep it like $500, $600 just for the food. If you travel to Vancouver, you probably want to spend more money on that for food. Friday nights, Tony, yeah, depending on what you want to do. We have the dinner with the speakers and the team and the VIP folks. But if you are into party and stuff, I can give you some recommendations. There's a lot happening in Vancouver. Vancouver is actually have a really nice things. Yeah. So that is the situation. YouTube. Um, so the hotel room, you mean, Samuel? The thing is, in these venues, usually, if you spend money on the food, they kind of waive the booking fee for the ballrooms. I think for the ballroom they charge us like $3,000-$4,000, but if you have a minimum spending of the on the food on the menu. Um, it's really fun. It's a lot of work, honestly. Like the way that we do it is a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do it next year, as a matter of fact, actually, because it's a lot of pressure on Mike and the team and the website and everything. It's like we do it, and we do it quick in a couple of months. All the websites, tickets, event planning, and stuff. It takes a lot of energy from my team. Um, yeah, so that is the situation. Seems like Tesla kind of bounced back from 274. The market really did a really nice rally. PLTR broke out. PLTR was a trade of the day that I didn't take. An amazing trade.
Hood has had a great morning too. Look at the move on that.
Yeah, Hood. Lenny had Hood on his watch list. So Cuban Boy 14 is asking, how did you see the breakout on the Tesla? So Tesla was gapping up 4% in the market open. So it's a good question. And we had this really nice, moves in the pre-market above the VWAP, and sold off a little bit, but quickly bounced back with volume above the VWAP, and that's how I usually trade. That's how I usually trade based on the chart patterns at the open. So it was a very very nice A plus setup trade book. Start in play, gap up above the VWAP. So I went long and I added more for the break of pre-market high. We also saw huge asks. So bookmap and level 2 was also super bullish on that. And so that's how it did it. It's a very standard, typical opening range breakout. 5 minute open range breakout. It's a little bit tricky for 5 minute open range breakout because it was a little bit extended on the 5 minute open range breakout. In this, now that I look at the chart, it looks like risk to reward would be there, but I wouldn't probably take it in 5 minute open range breakout because it seemed to me a little bit extended at 935 here. And at 935 would have bought at 262, and then your stop loss would have been very very far. And you can't expect Tesla to move up like 5-6% a day in a matter of short period of time. So it's a little bit tricky. I probably wouldn't have done that. PLTR would have been a very nice 5 minute open range breakup because now the risk to reward for you on PLTR would have been better. Look at the 5 minute on PLTR. So 5 minute open range breakup would have been much, much nicer on PLTR because it would have been less extended. Let's get some questions because I'm not going to make any other trade. I still have 150 shares of Tesla. You can see my screen. And close position, $28,000. So Salim, what did you trade, buddy? Salim is nice Tesla, very nice. Yeah, beautiful Tesla. Yeah, market still looks like it's ripping. So Dalton is asking the stop loss on Tesla. So Tesla, yeah, would have been probably. Let me bring the pen. So my stop loss on Tesla would have been somewhere around here. So this is the opening range breakout. So my stop loss would have been somewhere around, probably near this candlestick, somewhere around this area. So it would have been my risk here. You can actually see my screen. And obviously, as you see, when I added, so I was expecting the break of pre-market high, at least in the kind of a 2R that I did. And obviously, you go as you go, you keep partialing, and then these are the R's that you're adding. So that would be like somehow 3R, that would be 4R. This trade turned out to be like something somewhere around like 6R or something like that. Again, I still have in there. So it's but usually you don't get such a huge move on Tesla. Today is a very extraordinary day.
Looks good though. It's a great trade.
Yeah, it was very classic, very very nice. Thanks, Mr. President. So I will do in the simulator, but I struggle when I trade live. If I recommend go through the funded account, go through our $50,000 funded account. That's one level of additional stress without really risking real savings that you have for you and yourself and your family. But keep the share size down and trust the process. When I was started trading for climbing for the first time, that I went rock climbing, it was like 15 years ago on the rope, and I really had struggling of just I couldn't really climb. I was holding this rock and trying to, and I wasn't very high. And then my instructor told me, trust me, trust the rope, trust the belay, trust me. If you don't trust, you can't climb. And that changed my life. As soon as, and he told me, just fall, try to fall. And fall. I tried to go back and see, oh no, he's actually holding me. So you have to trust your system. The people who jump out of a plane with parachute, they have to trust that the parachute opens. Otherwise, you can't. You can't, do that. You have to trust your system. And if you stick to your system.
Oh, where'd he go? Mute.
Here.
Okay.
Peter, are you excited for Vancouver?
I am very excited. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
we've got a.
So
we've been doing all these prep sessions, like I said. We're getting ready. It's like it is. Andrew, you're putting on. This is truly like a world-class gala event. It's going to be awesome.
It is, yeah. Honestly, it is. I think it's a little bit overkill. Honestly, we did a little bit overkill on that, but that's who I am. I'm always overshooting everything. Like,
nothing wrong with
but
that.
that's good. No, it's fun. It's fun to do this with the community and love to do that.
Yep. Well,
yeah,
everybody
like
who goes
that.
gets to benefit from that, so it'll be awesome.
Excellent.
Tesla is John back a little bit.
Where's John? John is counting his money, huh? John is big in Tesla. Tesla is up 10%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great move on Tesla. Still above the 50 moving average, still hanging out here. AMD still at the high of day. Good move, late move on AMD this morning.
Yeah, AMD also suddenly ripped at the 10 o'clock.
Nvidia finally went. How you doing,
Nvidia
Carlos? Feeling okay? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm surprised Nvidia doesn't have much of a love anymore in Wall Street. Like, it really struggled going up.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, Phil. That kind of freaked me out. Those Reddit posts that instead of people were saying that instead of burning Teslas and vandalizing their dealership, just go short the Tesla by buying puts. June 2025 puts at 100, and that causes a shorter squeeze, something like that. Usually, when the Main Street started messing around with this, usually that's the sign of bottom.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't remember that in 2009, in March 2009, when the market bottom financial crisis was the Time magazine cover that go buy, canned food and stuff, and it's over. Like right at March 2009, I said in a presentation. So that was exactly the bottom. There was one. There was, it was a presentation that somebody. It was a cover.
The magazine cover index, that's one that they use, right? Whenever the magazine covers predict, growth or the fall or something, it's usually the sign of the end.
Yeah, this was the one. So I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, this was the one. You can see in my screen, holding on for dear life. That was exactly March 9, 2009. That essentially in the article was saying that it's over. Let's just go buy, canned food and stuff. and that was right at the bottom of the crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so, but it's really funny because the sentiment follows the price. The price doesn't follow the sentiment. A lot of people think that, if people became bearish, price goes down, but it's completely the other way around. When the things go up, the sentiment of the people change, the narrative change. Oh, no, 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 it's great, the economy is great. When the things go down, the narrative would change. Oh, this trade war is gonna destroy the global economy and the corruptions, and then the supply chain, food, everything collapses and stuff. It's completely the sentiment. Even in my mind, I can feel it. Like, for example, the days that like this market gapped up 2%, I'm more hopeful about future. Oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that. And when the market goes down, like I have no financial problem in my life, but I can't do that. Like, why did I buy a Lamborghini? Why did I do that? I should return this or get back to like it's very funny that how it impacts um, the people who closely follow the financial markets, like us. Yeah, has a huge impact on it. And a lot of people don't follow financial market. I have a lot of friends that they have no idea what's happening in the market.
True.
Peter, do you remember dot-com bubble?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Were you trading in that time? Was it scary? Like,
The
it was
.com,
dread.
I was more focused on my career, but I was there because I mean our companies were publicly traded, right? So you sort of couldn't help but follow it. But yeah, it was I mean the bubble that was at the top, right? So everybody was like super excited, and when the bubble burst, then because we were talking about web years and everything was moving at a different time scale, and the whole world's changed, and to a certain degree, it did. Like think about how companies are valued now. Like that was really a significant change in going from the bricks and mortar point of view, where you could value a company based on their assets and their future growth. Sorry, on their actual revenue growth, to you could value a company based on expected activities, and that carries through to today. I mean, you don't have to look any farther than the companies we talk about all the time here in Nvidia and Tesla, and look at their valuations. Right, it's completely based on the assumption of future growth. So, so in that respect, it changed things. But what it didn't change is exactly what you were talking about a few minutes ago, Andrew, about the way the market sentiment works. And everybody was so excited. The .com is forever, until that bubble burst, and then everybody was like, "Get out! Run for your lives!" Right? It's all going to fail. But that happened only after the stock started to go down. So you're right. It's always reactive. It's always following the actual moves. So like Brian said once, right? You got to use the barista index or the taxi driver index. Like when people who don't normally follow stocks start to talk about stocks, that's usually a sign that it's coming to a close, whatever that activity is. So when people all start, if your friend who doesn't follow stocks at all comes to you and says, "Hey, what do you think? Do you think this is a good time for me to to get out of my trade?" Then it's probably the time to start buying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was reading another article in Bloomberg. I might actually summarize it for my today's newsletter a little bit, and it was saying that a lot of people were saying that this is a bubble, like dot-com bubble, and there was a chart on it that they were comparing, the August 1995 to March 2000, which was a dot-com bubble, and compare it with the October 2022 when or December 2022 when the AI actually released, ChatGPT released, and you see, compare these two dates and the sessions that we're having, and you see we are not really as extreme of dot-com bubble yet. Do you see my screen? So I don't know if you guys see my screen. I can actually send the link on that as well. So you see, we are getting this growth, but really dot-com bubble started become super bubbly in the last, maybe a year or so, and we are not still in that. And both of them were a revolution in human civilization, like internet and AI. And as you see, when the ChatGPT released in November 2022, is still not getting into the bubbly. And even when it comes in another chart, they were comparing that. It's a really good article. I have to probably summarizing it today. And even in terms of price to earning ratio, the dot-com bubble, we were really, trading at around, the 30, but now we're not really trading that much higher. So we are elevated in terms of price to earning, but we are not really into, bubble territory when you actually look at the PE ratio. In the price to sales ratio, we are higher, but also these companies are generating significant amount of revenue. They're not really like dot-com bubble companies. Like dot-com bubble companies, they didn't generate anything. They were just had the name.
Yep.
This is the article. It's actually a very nice article. Again, this is a paid article. I don't know if you guys can read it or not. I have a subscription with Bloomberg. Lenny, how are you doing? Okay, so wait, Lenny, I'm sorry. I gotta say goodbye to YouTube. Paris is coming for YouTube, and in the chat room, Peter, I think we're gonna go off because I can't hear you, Lenny.
Yeah.
So
All right,
just a
guys.
couple of announcements before we go. Avi is having the mentorship session in the webinar room for all the elite members. So yeah, join Avi if you want to learn how Avi is trading. And YouTube guys, I just want to say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow morning. And yeah, Vancouver guys, come to Vancouver. Join us, Vancouver. We're gonna be super busy this week and Monday. We're gonna all trade live together. If you have any questions, just make sure email me andrew@bearbletraders.com. I'm gonna answer all of the questions. Goodbye, YouTube guys, and
All right, excellent. So I'm going to disconnect the audio from chat room, YouTube. Paris is up next, so stick around, and Lenny will be in our chat. All right, so disconnected YouTube. I'm sorry, chat room. And Paris, how you doing, my friend? I can't hear your audio yet.
can you hear me now?
Can't hear him. There he is. Now I can
There
hear
he
you.
is. All right, guys, we'll leave you with Paris, and Peter and I will hop off. We'll be in chat. Take care, guys.
Awesome.
Paris, I hope it looks like
Hey.
you've had a busy morning. Look at you. Wow.
Yeah, finally caught that move on Nvidia, made money on it. Wasn't in the right stock, but eventually worked out really well.
And did you trade Tesla?
No, I had
No.
Tesla through options, but I did not trade on the day trading standpoint.
Oh my goodness. Today
I-
was the day. We thought for sure.
Shocking, man. Shocking. We were
Yeah.
ready to tell you
know.
to hear I love Tesla, but you love Nvidia today. That's okay too. That's okay too.
Man, yeah. Tell me about it. So, yeah, I missed
Oh,
it. Eventually, I was exactly at the point where it did engulf at this area. I was heavy size on Nvidia, and I was thinking Nvidia is gonna squeeze too. It did squeeze too to the upside, but missed that move on Tesla. And that's the disadvantage of being you cannot be at the same position at multiple times.
sure.
So yeah, missed the initial move. So yeah, and now no pullbacks. Now it just keeps rallying. So
All
but
right.
but Peter, so much looking forward to see you this week.
Yeah, I know.
I'm really excited with Vancouver.
We're all going to be together in just a couple of days. So yes, it's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to it.
You coming on Wednesday, Thursday?
Thursday night.
Thursday night? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm coming on Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, see you.
I'll leave you to it. Enjoy everybody on YouTube. Trade smart out there. Carlos and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Paris, it's all yours.
All right, take care, guys.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Carlos. Yes, I am on X. Check my Twitter handle as @Paras Jindawani. I don't know if I have access to, but hey, T-Man, let me see if I can get to X. Yeah, I do have access as this thing. So yeah, I just pinged in the YouTube. You can find me on X. Yeah, appreciate the follow. This is what you would see on the X. And yeah, it is Paris Jindwani. Okay, so let's talk about, so I only traded NVIDIA, guys, and I took 5 trades on NVIDIA. And I made money on every single trade except for one. But stopped out at break even on one move, and this is where the conviction comes in, guys. This is like NVIDIA. Let's understand the thought process behind it. NVIDIA, everything was gapped up, everything was moving in a very gapped up. Tesla was gapped up 4%, 5%, was out of the range. Same with NVIDIA. NVIDIA 120 was the very, let me remove this. And now understand this, guys. So once the stock pulls back, like sells off like this, pulls back, now what you want to see is when the stock starts making higher highs. And one of the things that stock was doing, NVIDIA, for the past few days was holding the high at a higher. So buyer stepped in at 116. This is just through basic price action, guys. But the sellers were continued to sell at 120, right? This is what I get in information. So what do I want to see when it sells off, and when I want to start the bottoming action or a higher high on a bigger picture time frame is what you want to see like that. This is what I want to see on a bigger time frame, that okay, it bounced, and this would be the pullback, pulls back to that area. I want to see a hold somewhere, and then looking for a continuation to the upside. That's what my big picture analysis looks like. Now again, you don't wanna go long below 116, because then the character of a stock has changed. It can actually go for the low of the day. So you also want to understand what the price action is telling you. So big picture time frame, the price action is two information that I'm getting is that it was a bounce. Now it was a hold of 116 for 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days. Now it is gapping up, and the resistance was 120 for 4 days at this area. Now it is gapping up above 120. So when it gaps up above 120, the chances are so now the sellers who were trying to sell the 120s, they have to step away or they have to get squeezed. So people who were trying to sell 120, they will very quickly get squeezed and go to the upside. So there were two things. Either the seller would take over again, and it could be a good opportunity to short and then come back to 116 again and then try to consolidate at the same time for maybe another week or so, and then maybe eventually later you would see for a breakout to the upside or on the downside. But one thing I knew, that if I see a buyer at 120, I would want to long it. And let's now dive deeper into a 30-minute chart. So a 30-minute chart, let's understand this, guys. 30-minute chart, same concept of understanding what the price action is. Every single time, so it went to 120, sold off, bought back up, sold off, and then went to 120 again, sold off again. 120, sellers took over, then gap down, again went to 120. It sold off again. Now this is the sell off, and now today it is gapped up again. Now I want to see, does it sell off aggressively or is it buying? This is where you need to understand the price action, because ideally what I like, if I see a lot of selling pressure, I would want to I don't want to buy it. I was thinking more of a long bias, because the market was gapping up. A lot of, the buying, or actually it was a risk on day overall, and that's why I was more biased on the long side. But if it was a short, like ideally the case should be, you should find a seller again. So you should find a seller again, drop to like 119, and then later in the day it would go back or maybe go back down. That's what you want to see. But if I see a buyer, I'm going to use it, and that would be a valid breakout. And that breakout would actually lead to 120 and then hold higher at higher prices and then go to 125 eventually. So that's what my initial plan before the market open was. Now, what do I want to see? What is happening in the pre-market? So pre-market, what do I see is the stock was gapped up right here at this area, and then it broke out of it at this point. So now understand this, guys. Let me zoom in a little bit. So from the pre-market, so I didn't zoom in. Okay, so from the pre-market, if you look at this, it was gapped up right here, held this area. So this becomes an important level. So 118, 119 becomes, and then it broke out of this, and then it tried to hold in a very tight range and then stepping up. So this 119.80, 120 area is a very important area for me. That this is the area that I would love to scale into a position and for a long. And if it closes a couple of times and holds below 119.18, then it could go to 119 and then eventually go lower. That's what because the price action has to confirm. So what happened at the open? Now let's go into how I traded. Now let's go into. So this was the game plan. This was the thesis. Let's enable this right now. So now, same concept. And when the stock, I was using 120, 119, and this is, let's zoom in on here. So this is my first trade. This is my first trade right here. What did I do? I went long exactly. So it dropped, but very quickly it was bounced back up with volume. And that's when I went long in the first minute. That was about 120. As soon as it claims 120, it popped really nice. And then at the VWAP and at this area, it tried to again hold very nice on the tape, where you see a lot of buyers stepping up, and then you buyers, and then I added aggressively. This is where I went long right here. I went long right here, and then added aggressively right here, these two areas, and then scaled out very quick profit from 120.20 to back to 121. But then I was looking for it to hold at a higher price. And I want to see it hold at a higher price and break the 121 again. But it never did. So that's why I got stopped out break even. Because I was very aggressive. My break even was very close to below the VWAP. And that's exactly when I got stopped out at break even. This was the second trade. I went long again. Okay, this was a very good squeeze to the upside. And it also came up with volume right here. And then I was, okay, very good long. And I was looking for a very good pop, but there's somebody slammed the bids. I was like, okay, let me cut my size here because I think it can easily come back to 120. And if it holds 120, then I'll add more. But the second it was, what do you call? The second it slammed it, but the price never dropped. And what I saw was people who understand the tape was that they want to see the slam the bids, but the price did not drop. I was like, okay, this is a very bullish sign. Let me get back again heavy. Added back to the position where I had cut my position size and then scaled out to the upside. Then it popped up very quick. The momentum was there. And then again, it came back, held it. I was like, okay, now very good chance it pops up again. But again, the sellers who were trying to slam the bids at this area, they came back again at this area. And I was like, okay, I don't think it's going to continue. So I have to get out. So this is where I lost money on it because overall my average was a little higher, but I immediately got out if it's not working in my favor. So that's the one that I lost money. But then this is the third trade again at 120. Every single time there was a buyer getting in, I was looking for a momentum to the upside. So again, I went long at 120, added more at 120. When it closed above the VWAP, I added heavy at 120, 20 for a scale out for the break of high of the day. But then popped up, scaled out, and stopped out break even. So that's another third trade. Fourth trade, same thing. Every single time it dropped, came to 120, 190, 80 area, that I saw a buyer. And that's where you get conviction too, because a lot of times the stock would not work in your favor immediately. You have to have multiple tries, and that's the beauty of the risk management, to get in and get out, managing your risk. So every single trade I made money. So here I went long, popped up, held 120, I added more, broke out, and then scaled out at 120.50, then stopped out break even. Because I was looking for a continuation again to the break of high of the day. It was just never giving me this. Now my final trade, oh wow, this popped up. Hold on. Let me scale out, guys. 122. Yeah, my 122.50 would be my final exit. I think it has a very good, so 120, this thing. So now the fifth trade is when what I saw, I even got below my entry, below my area of interest, just because what I saw on the tape. Because this sell-off was, they come up with a volume right here, but I saw buyers kept stepping up again. Like, it wasn't like the weakness that you want to see on a stock for a price to go further down. I wasn't seeing that. And my thesis, and I was like, okay, this could just be a liquidity trap where, all the buyers who were trying to buy, the institutions trying to generate the liquidity by going down, and then immediately would bid back up. So I did not go aggressive size right here at this point. I did not go aggressive because I was going against the trend, but when it popped back up and held the 120, that's where I went aggressive. This is like, even though I am getting aggressive, my stop loss is below 120, which I'm still able to manage my risk right here. So I started with my initial tier 1 position, but then the added heavy at this point, because this is the area that was my interest. And it's just a matter of time. It just stepped up and break the high of the day that I was looking for, and then scaled out. And now it's all a matter of like scaling out to the highs. The level 2 here was very imbalanced too. Here now you don't see much orders. 120.50, you see 27,000 shares, but there's not much of orders in the level 2, and that's where I scale out. Final exit around that area. But yeah, overall a very, very good day that turned out. And I love these days, usually when the stock is difficult, but you're still able to generate a revenue out of it, because these are not simple days. You have to be very careful trading the stock that was a chop at the open, but the conviction to see and be biased on that side is what actually you're gonna catch on the move that you're looking for. So hope so yeah, so Tesla is wait, what is Tesla doing? Yeah, Tesla is still strong, guys. I would not short this. This stock is gonna close at the highs. This was like real buying. Like this pullbacks, when you see this tighter pullbacks, like I was thinking, okay, my interest area was 257 and 250, this area 259. And when it broke out of this, okay, I said that, okay, please give me a pullback. Please give me a pullback a little bit here. I want to get in at 259, but it never gave me that pullback. And now 262 was that area, same area. But I was just trading that shitty Nvidia, but no deeper pullback. If you see, ideally a stock would give you a pullback somewhere here, 260, 261, like to the pre-market high. But even in this area, when it popped up to 269, very, very shallow pullback. And these are the days where you can tell the institutions are getting in. These are like aggressive. These are aggressive moves. And that's the understanding of the price action that you want to get. So AS, I'm not taking any mentoring. I used to take I used to offer mentorship, but I've stopped for a little while. I don't know when I'll start again. Not currently taking up any mentees or anything for one-on-ones. Congratulations, Mr. Trader. Will you have an event next year? I think there will be events next year too, but we don't know where it's gonna be. It Yeah, Tesla is strong, guys. I'm very happy. At least my long-term position is doing well now. Nvidia, what did Hood do today? Anybody else trade anything good? Tesla. Tesla was a very, very good pattern, man. Yeah, this is a long, guys. MSTR. Let's look at what MSTR. I think Megan had MSTR in her watch list today. What did MSTR do? MSTR, very nice. Engulfing, very nice. And this is what you want to see. Usually this is exactly what happens. So it breaks out, holds at this area around the VWAP area, and then steps up higher, and usually either you can scale into the position right here and then add back at the retest right here. 320 and then scale out to the upside. Very nice trade on MSTR if you took it. And this is a very perfect ABCD pattern too. So A, B, C, and D. Like this is very nice. This thing. Hems. Hems is. What is Hems doing? Oh wow. Wasn't the stock really sold off recently? Yeah, it did sell off. Now it healthy 30. Yeah, I think a lot of stocks were like, today was one of those days where risk on, and a lot of stocks were like trying to consolidate for a week now, and every stock was gapped up just because of the market. And this usually it's leads to a very good continuation to the upside. But at the open it was difficult, but I think later after like 10:45 it started going up. Same with Nvidia. So 122.50 is what I'm looking for. Final exit. Yeah, I'm glad I got Nvidia though, but and yeah, a lot of times, these are the days where it would test your skills. Like how good are you to make money uh, in those difficult days? And I got stopped out 4 times, managed the risk, stopped out break even, but I wasn't hesitant to take for the fifth time because I saw what I was looking for. Like if I was not seeing or if I did not have that conviction, I wasn't like blindly conviction. It was always you want to see something to be able to have that conviction. So why 122.50 is because it has already moved uh, its range overall. So there is no specific area that I definitely think in the next couple of days it could go to 125. But from a day standpoint, the average ATR, if you look at it, it has been close to like $2.5, like 118 to 115.50, 118 to 116 to 119, like this 119 to 117. Like these moves are like $2.5, $3. And of course it's gonna expand, so that's why the stock bought from 119.50. Now it's at 122. It's already moved $2.5. But $2.5, $3 is the overall range for the past few days, or I would want to say ATR. Even these ones are the overall range is close to around $2.5, $3. So I'm just using that information to identify my target area, that if I'm able to capture that real meat of the move, I'll be looking for that. And of course, and second thing is I'm already out on my majority of my position. I'm only holding like 20% of my original position. So I don't have much share left for me to, uh, continue holding for higher things. No, I do not trade with a prop for me, yes. Nvidia have selling pressure daily due to trimmers who want to reduce their Nvidia that have been happening for 9 months and still going. Yeah, could be others, and Nvidia bulls not buying anything above. Yeah, could be. And there's a lot of ways you can identify that, if how are they trimming or how are they sizing in. But we want to see what is happening on that day. As a day trader or as an active intraday trader, I am more curious on what is happening on that day. Nvidia, yeah, it doesn't seem like it wants to. Yes, I'm all out on Nvidia. All out on Nvidia. All out on Nvidia, guys. See that drop, guys? Yeah, I saw that seller coming in. I don't know if it's gonna continue, but I did see that, and that's why I got all out. What else is interesting, guys? Anything? What is Tesla doing? Yeah, I'm all out on Nvidia, so Tesla is dropping too. So can you explain at the top of the bookmap? Bookmap, the two order book and volume bars. I don't know, Amber. I don't read bookmap. I don't use bookmap. I know how to read it, but I don't know what you're talking about. I read the tape. I read the level 2 that you see on your screen, which is the order book, and I read the time and sales. PLTR was a good breakout too. PLTR, a very nice hold and then breakout to the upside and then bounce and then another leg higher. Now it's coming back. So yellow portion of the order book is the immediate bid and the ask. So currently the one that you see right here, this is an immediate bid. This is an immediate bid, whatever you're seeing, and this is the immediate ask. So if you have to short or like if you want to hit the bids and get in, you basically can directly hit the bids, or if you want to get in at the long, you can directly hit the ask to get in. So usually when we, as a day trading standpoint, you usually hit the bid and the ask, but you can always hit between the bid and the ask. So that's what a lot of times you'll see a stacking or iceberg orders and through the immediate bid and the ask, and it's a good way to identify it where the price is gonna go. So Amazon, let's see. So Amazon, oh yeah, right. I did same, very tight range, and then very tight range, and then held at this area, now gapped up over the range. You want to look for a pop. If it comes back within the range, then it's like very chance that it breaks to the downside. Yeah, but currently 200 should hold. So 200 is the area. Yeah, it bounced from 200, and this is the move that I was looking on Nvidia. Like this pop and then hold, then pop and then hold, and then scale out to the upside. And like the same with like what Amazon did at 200, I was anticipating the same thing doing with Nvidia doing at 120. Like this is a good move for Nvidia. This is the way that I was expecting on Nvidia. This is like usually this is pop, hold, pop, hold, and this is like forms a ascending wedge pattern, and then it breaks out. This is exactly what I was thinking that the Nvidia would do, but in Nvidia's case, it actually went down, came back a complete reversal, then did not make a new high, and then again, and then again, and then dropped, and then came back again, and then moved higher. That's the character of Nvidia today. See this guy is like, see this how you know you can get more information on how the tape behaves. And my exit was 122.50, but I took an exit earlier because I started seeing the seller's pressure coming up. And it also, not just your entries, it helps you with the exit too. Like this is where, before, sometimes when you're having a target, you don't blindly wait for that target. If it comes to that area and you get a confirmation that this is not in your favor, then you just get out. And I'm glad I'm all out. It has already dropped like 70 cents after that. But that's how you want to get the real-time information on how it. I do not. So I'm usually done by 11. That's if it's on the only time I'll do after 11 is something if I'm like down on the day and still looking for opportunities and looking for the days where and then my hard stop is 12. So that's like from 11 to 12 is the area where I'm down on the day and I see if there is any opportunity exists. I'll not force my trades, but I'll still look for opportunities to trade if it's after 11. But 12 is my hard stop. The only time I trade after 12 is when there is a Fed news or something coming up. So Tenzin, I'm looking for like, I usually like to go heavy and trade less, then going multiple trades and then trade more. So that's one of the things that's why like one or two good trades that work out for me, I usually call it, because you only need one or two good trades that work out I rarely go third or the fourth time. Only when I see something very promising, then I would do it. But usually I'm looking for like one or two real meat of the move. Like for today, Nvidia was that real meat of the move. On Friday, it was Tesla, real meat of the move. And you're looking for one good trade overall. And if I hit my target for the day, like in terms of P&L and the percentage wise, and that's where I usually stop. And my range is usually like current at this point, like back in the day, I used to have like a range of $50 to $100 a day, then increased to $250 a day, then increased to $500 a day, then 1,000 a day. Now my range is between 3 to 5K. So if I make that, if I don't push for another trades. If I have to push it, then I'll be okay to give back close to 30% on the day. But if it's breaks my 30% rule, then I don't trade anything. Like if I'm up, like let us say $320 or $325, sorry, 3,020 $3,200, then I would give $1,000 back if that's okay with me. Hey, man. Yeah, Avi is not gonna be here on YouTube going forward. I think he's handling the PCT as well as the webinar sessions. So number of shares depends on the amount of size that I'm willing to take. So I have categorized my size into tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then the final is like load the board, where I risk my entire day's profit on a specific trade. For today, for this one, this was my tier 3 size, where I went with tier 1 size, then I added like the last trade that I took. I went for tier 1 size right here and then added another tier 2 size because I was at a higher price and then my average, even though it dropped in my position, I would lose the tier 1 risk, not a tier 3. But the size was more on tier 3 size. Yeah, for me, it doesn't have to depend on 1,000 shares. Like I don't trade based on like number of shares. I just have an approximate figure. So Nvidia is selling off. Now I want to see if Nvidia is this thing. Nvidia is doing this thing. I want to see it come back around this area. I want to see at this area and then see what it's doing at this area, 121, around 121. And there could be a case for a bounce at 121.50, but usually the stocks tend to, at this point, they tend to do a deeper pullback. So tier size, so Andrew, the tier size is usually based on the risk you're willing to take. So tier 1, let us say $500 risk. Tier 2, $1,000 risk. Tier 3, $1,500 risk. Like that's the risk size that you're willing to take. And depending on the risk you're willing to take, that would contribute to the number of shares. Because if I am risking Nvidia on a $120 stock, my number of shares is going to be different if I'm trading a Tesla, which is a $250 or $280 stock. Yeah, so of course I do have a mental stop, and for me in this case was the loss of 190.50. So I went in at around 119.70. So I was risking 20 cents on this point right here because if you look at if I zoom in a little bit, so here, if you look at it, this is like at this point, if it tries to go around 119.50, that means this is an ABCD pattern. Like this is an inverse ABCD pattern. So that means the sellers would take over and then break the low of the day. So I would be technically, I would be stopped out. So I was holding that 190.50. I started seeing buyers stepping in at this point, and even the selling pressure was decreased, and that was another reason why I went long here. And then once it claims the VWAP and holds the 120, and that's when I'm betting more on the confirmation than on the just like a place where I see a buyer. A buyer does not have to continue to the upside, but if it breaks the 120 and holds it, that's when you get a confirmation. Much better area to add heavy. No, I even took this is tier 2 size. Even before that, this was tier 2 size. And this was, yeah, this was, I think, yeah, this was also tier 3 size. The only time it was tier 1 size was at the open when because I had a conviction on NVIDIA. And in this case, the first was a tier 1 size, and when it came and hold, and that's when I added tier 2 and tier 3, and for the break of high. But yeah, but then eventually got stopped out. So it wasn't just one. Because I had a conviction on the stock for it to go higher. When I have a conviction, I tend to go trade higher at a higher price, like a higher size. What an exit it turned out to be, man. Like this is like a perfect exit. Yeah, I personally don't, except for Tesla on a long-term standpoint, I am I just be very neutral every single day I come to trade on an active, and then I develop a bias on what is happening on that particular day. Long term, I don't know what these stocks are gonna do. Like at one point, I think, what is that? One point, what was that stock? They're trading in like, what is Neo doing nowadays? $4. Like some of these stocks were trading at like you see $70. Neo is gonna be the next big thing, and the automotive cars and great cars, and now they're trading at $4. See, what was that stock? Not SQ, but a lot of stocks which like very promising. mRNA, let's look at that. Very promising at this point, but see that trading at 500 and currently at 34. Like that's so you don't know. People who were trying to hold, same with like that was a COVID level stock, but people were everybody was talking about Piton. It went to 170 and now it's currently at $7. Same with like there was this plug. It is currently trading at $1. Everybody is talking, they are the ones who are creating like an energy source through water, and then that's going to be there, and that's going to be the next big thing. And it was at 80, at 75 at one point, and now it's at dollars are trading at $1. Like these themes, like now is the theme for AI and stuff, but again, things are moving really fast. You cannot just rely on certain, like Nvidia is the talk of the town for I don't know how much time right now, but you just never know. One thing like DeepSeek did impact Nvidia in a big shot. All the demand that Nvidia was having at these points, it's all gone when DeepSeek news came in. I think this was a big drop that was DeepSeek news came in. And now some other chip comes in and says that, you know what, we don't need energy anymore, or we don't need chips anymore, or we don't, some news, and it can very quickly change the demand of a stock. And that's why it's heavily recommended to trade the economy, trade the indexes, than like if you're on a long term. You can trade the stocks if you're on a short term, but you don't know what the stock is going to happen to that stock. One news can change the complete theme of that entire stock. And same happened to Tesla. I've been very bullish Tesla, very I keep adding to my positions on Tesla on a longer term, and at one point this was trading at 500. I was like very good long-term position I had, and then it was the next thing it's trading at 220, and my average was trading at 260s in a long-term account. But uh, it's scary when you're holding that big of a position in the stock, and there was not major news on Tesla either. It was just the sentiment that had changed. And eventually Tesla will be back and as a strong thing, but you never know in these individual stocks. You have to be able to manage them. Tomorrow, if somebody gets like, I hope it doesn't, but if Elon Musk gets short, the Tesla is gonna go to it'll have multiple halts on a stock, because I think the Teslas and the SpaceX and everything is dependent on one person. I don't think it's a meme stock because Tesla has real numbers. Tesla is not messing around. Tesla has those creative edge technology, has great cars, great technology. Drive a Tesla once. You'll be amazed on how beautifully it drives. And that's a game-changing thing. Same with like same cutting edge technologies that Tesla is, and they're generating revenue out of it. It's not something that they're just created some product that is not sellable. They are into a lot of things and they are generating cash flow. So yeah. Yeah, the stock. Yeah. And that's the beauty of to be a part of day trading, right? Like Tesla is one of that skull stocks that gives you opportunity every single day. Yeah, and they're betting hard on, like, I drive Tesla and I love it. Like if you give me a Lambo and if you ask me to drive it, I'll any day drive a Tesla. Can a Lambo drive by itself? I don't think so. You take the Lambo. I'm sure a lot of people would do. Like if uh yeah. So Matthew, no, I haven't traded futures. I do options and I do stocks. So Nvidia 121.50, try to hold. Let's see if it has another leg lower or higher. What Nvidia is like eventually maybe just try to consolidate and close at the highs. I think it can consolidate, breaks out, maybe come back up here or hold above 121.80 and then break out and close at the highs in the later part of the day. I think that's what can happen on Nvidia. The other scenario would be it sells off, drops to 121, 121.80, and then holds around this area. But I would be more inclined on the first option. So I don't trade from the the montage, Samuel. I trade from I have hotkeys enabled on my keyboard. So Ravi, how do you guys deal with the superficial losses for tax purposes? It's my first year and it's confused how to calculate. I think Ravi, you would. I don't know how you trade, but check with your tax consultant. I trade through a LLC, and you really want to enable the MTM accounting, which is basically just avoids the wash sale that comes in if you're in US. And with the LLC, you can claim on the expenses. So yeah, but check with your CPA. I trade with a company, trade using a LLC. Not really. Nobody tried to vandalize my Tesla car, but I don't I don't drive much either, to be honest. So I work from home. I only go to the gym in my car and nothing much. If I have to go somewhere, then I'll drive, but it's usually sitting in my garage. Uh, how many orders do you configure to see on level 2? For me, it is 90. 90 lots. So if you see on the level 2 config, it is 9,000 shares. That's where it highlights on this. No, Matthew. My my firstly you open an LLC and then you open a trading account, a professional trading account under the name of the LLC. I don't think you merge it. So you just open a new trading account under the LLC name. Okay, guys, have a great, I think it's top of the hour. I'll wrap it up and thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.